retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X Gaming Show. Tune in where the thoughts flow. Rant and rave with words that glow. Weekly stories make them go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is Sgt Mclusky. What's going on? What game did you pause? What game did you pause?
Well, I have Company Heroes 3 in the background. I think I should turn it off, though.
Oh. Those of you that don't know what Generation X Gaming is a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. Episode 451 episodes. We're here live Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. We do about 40, I think it's like 45 episodes a year. Basically, that's what it turns out to be, because we're in the 11th season, and we're at 451, so it's about that, right? So you can also listen to us or watch us on anywhere a podcast is listened to. You can go to Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and also watch us over on Spotify, the past broadcasts. All episodes are up to date as of today, so you can go watch the past broadcasts of all 451 episodes over on Spotify. If you just take that into consideration for a second, that's a full year, one episode every day for 365 days, and then we got 100 more. Okay, you can watch one episode every single day for your life. So enjoy. They're all free, and if you'd like to support us in any way, shape, or form, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. And if you'd like to support us, we also have an album. It's called Perk Up, Press Play. You can listen to that on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeart. Just fun songs that I've created for the morning show, the daily grind that we do here on this channel, Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning to noon Eastern. And this is like the end off of the week. I'm off on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and start Monday through Thursday. So welcome, everybody. Welcome over on Twitch. Welcome over on YouTube. What's going on, Sarge? Another week, another time warp. How you doing?
It's just ridiculous.
It's crazy to me that because I'm off 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then when Monday starts, I'm like, oh, it's Monday. And then all of a sudden I'm like, holy shit, it's Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. And then boom, it's Thursday. It's over. And I'm like, did you know summertime is over? My son starts school on Monday.
Summertime is not over. The last day of summer is September 21st.
Well, no. You don't have children. Summer's over. They already started school up here for certain schools. He starts Monday, right?
That's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
The last day before you go back to school is supposed to be Labor Day. The last barbecue, the last big hurrah, everyone hangs out in the pool, and then you go to school after Labor Day. That's what it's supposed to be.
Not anymore.
That's what it's supposed to be. Seriously. In the middle of August.
Water Bear with the $50 super chat. He says, the Battlefield hype train is back, baby. Water's going to pre-order. Don't pre-order.
Crazed out. He hit the extra zero. That's how crazed out hype he is right now.
Thank you very much for the $50 super chat, Water.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. Good night, everybody.
He was like
500. Oh shit! Do you want
shit?
Yeah. Do you want $45 back? Do you want $45 back?
Did it get you, Water? Did it get you? Is it finally making you think that maybe they did it right? Is that why?
That's funny. All right. So on today's show, I do this for myself. So later when I'm looking at videos to find out the things I predicted and messed up on, it's all here. So on today's show, we're going to be talking about Grounded 2. We're going to talk about Contraband. Stop it. Contraband. We're going to talk about ASUS ROG Ally. We're going to talk about Sony admits its live service games are not good. We're talking about Marvel Tokon. Marvel Tokon. I think that's how you pronounce it. We're going to talk about PlayStation's quarterly's results. We're going to talk about Anthem. We're going to talk about Genshin Impact, and then we're going to talk about Battlefield. Lots of Battlefield stuff. Because Battlefield 6, if you guys didn't know, Battlefield 6, the game is betas out right now, early access, which everybody and their mother's playing. We have lots to talk about there. Because if you guys don't know, me and Sarge love Battlefield. Right? Battlefield is one of our favorite series, and even when Battlefield was shitty for the last 10 years, that we've been doing this show, okay? We've been doing this show since 2015. The last good Battlefield was Battlefield 1. That's the last time a Battlefield was good. Since then, it was Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 2042, and now we finally have Battlefield 6, and we're not lighting the fire just yet. But, so yeah, let's get to what we've been playing, Sarge. All right, another week down. What'd you play this week? Anything fun? Anything different? Don't start with Grounded.
I mean, that's what I played.
Well, okay. Well, you played other things. You played Company Heroes. Did you play anything else?
Of course, I play games.
Well, here I'll tell you this.
I stare at a screen and look at stocks for 5 hours a day. Then I go to work. Then I come home. Then I drink a scotch, and then I stare at the screen a little bit more. And then when I feel like I'm comfortable now, then I play a couple games. That's my week. That's what I do, right? So, yes, I played Grounded when you weren't playing, messed around, harvested a bunch of stuff, threw it in the chest, trying to figure out what makes what, because it was starting to get crazy. What's happening to your camera, man? Are the aliens invading? What's happening? Is it my computer? What do you mean? You're so pixelated. It looks like I'm looking at you from a camera from 1996.
Now, on my side, it looks fine.
It looks fine,
and that's
okay,
all.
We're moving on.
That's all that matters. But yeah,
right.
Because chat, the stream looks fine, right? We're all clear, no pixelation. Is there a storm by you?
I mean, not that I can hear.
Okay, well, there's no storm by me right now, so we're fine.
All right, we're good. All right. And because the more I was talking, you just kept going more and more desynced. I was like, "What's going on?" He's like, "He's about to disappear."
Hold on, let me see. I'm doing a speed test right now. Just I think we do have something. There's the megabytes are a little low right now, so
yeah,
they're only around 300. So
all right. So anyway,
yeah,
right. Grounded 2, I think is a great game. It's fun. The problem I have with these early release stuff, though,
it's got a lot of bugs.
No, I'm not going to do any dad jokes. That's Magic's job now, okay, or Water's job. I like playing it. My problem is that when I play a game like that in the test zone for a while, then I lose the will to want to play it when it comes out fully. Like it takes me, it'll be a while before I come back around and want to play it again. You know what I mean? Because I've been playing it for so long. I think it's great. I think it's a great kid game for kids. It's a great kid game. And I like the little synergies between the armor now. I'm finally starting to understand why you want certain armors. And so after reading, when you weren't there, I was reading for like an hour, reading all the armor. I'm like, oh, cockroach. I'm like, it's fucking on, right? And I go and I got on my ant, grabbed another ant from the anthill, found a roach, right? First, I upgraded my weapon. I used the mosquito stinger because it does more crit damage, right?
Right.
So I spec'd out with the mosquito sword, got the best armor I had, just the red ant armor. That's all I had, right? And I put the grub armor on because it's a better blocking. Go killed the roaches, upgraded to the roach mask and the roach armor. And then you saw me. I was standing in front of scorpions.
You're just tanking,
and my health wasn't going anywhere. Blocking with the giant.
You were literally
shield.
Screaming in the face, in the face.
I'm like, this is how it's supposed to be. Roach armor, yeah. I can't kill you in real life. You can't kill me in a video game. That's how this works. Roach armor for the win.
You froze for me. Maybe there is a storm by me.
I froze. Well, if you can still hear me, it doesn't matter. I hope my face is in a good position. Anyway. Right. So I think it's a great game. It's fun as hell. I like how people keep popping in and out. People who get on at night, they just pop in because you have it open up for friends and they just kind of come on in. Right?
Yeah, that's why I invited like 4 or 5 people. So anybody that wants to come in and build on or explore and find stuff, I don't care.
Yeah, but normally you'll find someone to come in and burn everything down. You know how it's going to be.
Well, I guess they could.
Yeah,
I would.
Whatever.
I would boot them from the community. So
whatever. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, I wouldn't be mad. It'd just be a dick move.
so I stopped playing Dune Spice Wars for a little while because I started getting a little crazy, and I started playing a little bit more of the World War II stuff. So I've been playing Hell Let Loose and Company Heroes 3. I'm playing both of those, of course, online. And every Sunday now, for I think maybe like I don't know how long it's been. I lost track. Maybe it's 4 or 5 times now. Pmaybe it's been a month. Is it over? Travis, is it over a month? Have we done it more than 4 times?
Yeah,
or
no,
this
you've
is
been
the
playing
4th
over
time?
a month. Yeah, it's like the 4th or 5th time, something like that.
Yeah. So we're playing every Sunday. We play Baldur's Gate. We play Baldur's Gate 3, and we're just shooting the shit. We play for maybe like between like 6:30, 7 o'clock, and maybe between 10 and like 11 o'clock we stop. Right, just going through the game.
How far are you in the game?
I mean, I don't know because I didn't look it up. According to Travis, he says we're like in the 2nd chapter or the
Act 2.
Act 2, right? So, I mean, I'm enjoying myself. I think it's a fantastic game, right? And I explained to him like it's hard to go backwards. When you play a game like this, it's hard to go backwards. But if you've never played Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, right? And anyone likes RPGs and you like Baldur's Gate 3, you should go play the original games because number 1, they're classics, right? And they've been enhanced, so they're not so ridiculously pixelated. They look good. Number 2, your character that you make in the game, you can bring them through the entire game, the DLC, and then the entire game again. So you could bring your guy across the entire story if you want to, right? And make up like your own like little story. Like if your guy dies, like sometimes when I played the first ones, I played Iron Man, right? What I did, the only thing I cheated with, and I didn't call it like a cheat. The only thing I did was I played through the game first time with a cleric, right?
You're talking about Baldur's Gate, original
Baldur's Gate 1, right?
Yeah.
It's not a cheat, right? I leveled up a cleric through both games, right? And then I brought it back to the first game, and I said, that's my cleric. And everybody else is level 1, right? So at least I had like the chaperone, I guess you would call it, the cleric's the chaperone. He can't save you against everything, but the spell levels and the healing spells keep your guys alive because you're dealing with like 8 hit points or 12 hit points in the beginning of the game, right? So I played Iron Man like that. I got the godlike cleric who followed me around, who I befriended, right? And then my level 1 party, and I see if I can make it, right? And the hard part is you get halfway through the game and your wizard takes a wicked shot, or someone takes a wicked shot and they go down. That's it, kid. That's the end of your character when you play Iron Man. Like, so I punish myself from time to time, but I always like those games. And I told Travis, same thing. If you like Baldur's Gate, you might like Wasteland, because Wasteland is the same thing, just with guns.
So my question, Travis just said something to Water. He said you could join Water. We'll carry you. Like if I wanted to play one Sunday with you guys and bring a character in, how does that work? If you guys
you pop in.
Yeah, but does it scale me up to you guys? Like,
I'm
how
not
does
sure.
that?
I'm not sure if it does or not. It might. I'm thinking that the way that the game plays, it might.
So right now, because it's 2 of you guys playing, is it you bring 2 characters in, he brings 2 characters in, or how does that work?
Well, I don't like to do multiple characters. The guy who hosts the game is in charge of their person and all the other guys.
Okay.
So everybody else that comes in is playing their own character. I can control.
So Travis is playing one guy, you're playing the other 3.
No, he's hosting.
Oh, he's hosting. Okay.
Yeah, I play one guy, he's playing the other 3.
Okay.
Yeah, but if somebody else pops in, then they control their own character.
Interesting. Maybe I'll do that one week if I can. Usually Sundays I'm all over the place.
Of course, I'm surprised about hit points. A wizard with 86 hit points is retarded to me because I'm from old school D&D. Like
86 points.
Just do the math. In old school, not 5th edition, kids. Those of you who are nerds, not 5th edition. I played the old school D&D. The old school D&D, a wizard has D4 hit points. And just to make things a little bit more easier for yourself, I just gave him an additional 4 hit points instead of rolling a die. Because if you get 1 hit point, the fuck is the point of this game? What am I doing? Why am I torturing myself? So like the wizard at level 5 is 20 hit points. A guy with a sword can do 10. So your wizard's like a little kid. Like you can't do anything with them. So I'm glad the rules changed for 5th edition.
Abracadabra.
Yeah, I'm glad the rules changed for 5th edition where the hit points are a little bit higher. So it's a little bit more, understandable that you're a wizard, but you're not a child. You don't have like 8 hit points. That's ridiculous.
Oh, so I have to use one of the characters that's in the game. I can't bring my character in, Travis. Is that how that works? Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously on Sundays I'm busy with family and stuff like that, so I usually can't play games until late at night anyway. So by the time I get on, you guys are done.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to get into the Battlefield mood, so I've been playing Hell Let Loose, and they got some guys on there that they know how to play, man. It's like watching like a machine. Yeah. At this point, it's like watching a machine now. It's not like a bunch of guys running around. Like I'll get in and just stay quiet, and I can I'll be in my own squad. I'll lock the squad and just be a squad leader just so I can get a feel for what's going on. And I'm listening to like military comms for like 10 minutes. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
When you play, are you still in the same group, or did you get booted from that group?
I didn't get booted from the group. The group kind of got all frayed, and so they kind of splintered off. They splintered into different directions. There's a few groups that splintered from that group.
I gotcha.
I'd have to go back on what do you guys call on Xbox? The LFG pages inside the Xbox.
The group page. Yeah, the group.
Yeah, the group page. I usually find somebody in there, or on Discord now. I got a bunch of guys on Discord that I bounce off of.
Yeah, no, I won't do that though, Travis. Like I usually play out on Sunday nights. I'll get on at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night and play till like 1, and then I'm done. Yeah, I usually go to bed at like 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
it's staying up to 4.
For me though, it's a question of if I can be in the world I want to play. Like I play a lot of games where it's open world stuff, like Skyrim or Cyberpunk. Like I want to be in that world. You know what I mean? Like for me to want to play the game, I want to be in that world. You know what I'm talking about? I can't just play the game like I'm playing a game. Right?
We were just talking about this, Travis, ahead of time. Like in the beginning, I said, God, I hope, because I'm still not hyped about Battlefield 6, even though I'm playing it, right? I said, man, I hope Battlefield 6 works out. I do, because I think that could be something that we play as a group, right? Like if I could get back to what it was in Battlefield 2 days, Battlefield 3 days, where we had 10, 12 people that just hopped on and we just played, that would be excellent, because it's not about the game itself anymore. At that point, it's about the whole group working together and playing, and it's just a fun time. So hopefully Battlefield 6 works out. We'll get more to that. Yeah, I'm really liking Grounded 2. Besides the crashes out to the dashboard, that's probably the worst thing that happens. There's little glitches and stuff that happens because that's what I've been playing as well. I played a lot of Grounded 2. I also been playing today. I got onto Battlefield 6, and I guess I'll wait to tell you more about that when we talk about Battlefield. So I won't really talk about much about Battlefield during what we've been playing. I'll talk about that during the Battlefield section of the show. But Grounded, I really like how they have like RPG elements in here now, like actual like class builds. You can be like a mage, and you can be a rogue, and you can be like
wear the right armor.
Yeah, you wear the right armor and stuff like that. I think it's interesting that for instance, yesterday we went into the ice cream cart, okay, and there was like a snow biome, and I thought that was really interesting and cool. Where we had to put the gear on. We didn't have full gear, so we were freezing while we were going in there. There's a couple of glitches and desync issues and stuff. The update that went through yesterday, I think, kind of broke more stuff than fixed. Because there was a lot of weird stuff going on. Like yesterday, we were talking about it. Like you were like, no, none of the insects are moving. They're like frozen and paused and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of coding errors going on.
Yeah,
what was happening?
This is the one thing I didn't want about Grounded 2 when they first announced it, and I was like, Grounded 1 was this early access period, and then it went into full load, like full release, and it's an amazing game. Grounded 1, with all the updates and everything they did, is a phenomenal game for what it is, right? Obsidian smashed it out of the park. No pun intended. Okay. Now, with this game, I feel like they've dropped it because it's in early access again, right? So now we're like testing the game again. instead of taking what they had from that first one, going to that
Progression.
moment, that progression. And then go above that. I feel like we're taking 2 steps forward, 3 steps back in Grounded 2. Now, I do like Grounded 2. I think that Grounded 2 is at a better starting point than Grounded 1 was, but at the same time, it's still, I don't know, not as high as I would expect from what Grounded 1 ended at and where Grounded 2 started at. Okay. Now, I want to say this. Grounded 2, I think by the time it comes out 1.0 or release, I think it will be a much better game than Grounded 1. I think it's going to be one of the better survival games out there just because of the tone, the atmosphere of it. It's just anyone can really like be a part of it because it's that Honey, I Shrunk the Kid type of thematic stuff where if you're an older gamer like us, you think of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. If you're a younger gamer, it's just you're playing with your toys in the yard. You know what I mean? Like type of thing. So I think it has that appeal to it, that little appeal.
I think if you want, I was pondering this past week. I did a lot of quiet time, like nothing, no radio, no music, no phone, no TV. And I was just in a quiet room, just kind of thinking. And I came up with this other game in my head that I know that the developers could do. And I know you're gonna hate me for this, but the reason why it's a live service is because listen.
How dare you?
The reason why it's a live service is because it has to be adjustable for different generations.
Because it has to have those lights on. I got it.
No. So, like for instance, for our generation, right? It's kind of like a game like Grounded, right? But the story is about like Toy Story type of thing where toys are involved. But the toys that you unlock in the game are based on the generation that you are. So if we're playing the game, the toys and guys that we're fighting and doing stuff are all the toys that we grew up with. Like
well,
all
that's
of
the only cool. That's the only cool
right?
toys there. That's the 80s toys.
Hang on. It's not your childhood. Somebody else's childhood. Somebody else who's like only 20 something in the chat. When they play the game, they download the skins and stuff for all the things that he grew up with.
Right.
So the game is basically tailored with skins. Like you're fighting guys, but the toys that you fight and the things that
you're fighting your toys. Yeah.
Right. So you're fighting the guys that you grew up with.
Sort of Hyperbox Uncharged did this a little bit. It was a first-person shooter game where they kind of did parodies of the toys, like the G.I. Joe and the Transformers and stuff like that, which is pretty interesting. So, yeah, overall, I really do like Grounded 2. There's not many other games I'm playing right now. I'm putting a lot of time into that, building the base. When I'm not playing with you guys on stream, I'm just building. Because I think building is great in the game, but I think building is boring watching. So that's exactly why I don't build, and we go on adventures and we go kill things and do a bunch of stuff there. So, all right. So that is what we've been playing. Let's get to the top stories for the week. All right, top stories for the past week here. Well, we're starting with Grounded 2, right? Grounded 2 hits major milestone already. Player records on Steam set just days after the early access release. The sequel to Grounded is already posting big numbers despite only just entering into early access. Grounded 2 only first launched on July 29th in the first few days. There's also every reason to celebrate, as Highly Eurogamer has peak concurrent player figures for both the last 24 hours and it stands right now, and the all-time peak since early access launch have both surpassed Grounded's highest of highs. So Grounded 2 putting the work in. As of right now, 24-hour peak on SteamDB, and this is back a couple days ago. Grounded 2 hits 44,540 with an all-time peak of 49,839 compared to Grounded's all-time peak of 32,000. Let's see if I go to that right now, if it'll show us. Was it Grounded 2? Okay. Let's see. Right now, it's at 18,000. Oh, wait, we need to go to charts. Charts. Yeah, it's at 18,000 right now, and the all-time peak still stays at the 49,000. So 49,000 is what it was and is what it is. So which is much higher than the Grounded overall of 32,000. So,
but aren't you tired of listening to the whole peak and this and that? Like, all I ever pay attention to is when your game is out and how many people bought it. Because to me, if it's a slow couple weeks and you release the beta or the test of Grounded, of course a bunch of people are going to play it because they got nothing else going on maybe at the moment. So then you're going to brag about the number of people that are trying out your game because they're bored, as opposed to who's actually buying your damn game.
right.
Like, I can't stand these numbers now, man. The vocabulary that these developers use now to
What's articles?
instill some kind of like positive feedback. The game's not out yet. We don't even know if your game's going to be ready when it comes out.
Well, that's another thing that they need to change on the Steam. A lot of people are complaining about that because in Steam, it doesn't say that Grounded is in early access, where it is in early access, and it doesn't specify that in Steam. I don't know if they fixed that since it launched, but a lot of people were complaining because they charged $30 for it, and they're saying that it's out, but it's in early access. That's why it's all the bugs and glitches and all this other stuff. So I hope they fix that. So let's go from that to Contraband. Contraband game canceled. Xbox faces another setback amidst industry cuts. Contraband, a game from Xbox Studio Publishing and Avalanche, is canceled years after being announced back in 2021. This is exactly one of the reasons I look at things and go, yeah, it looks good. Like when we see the trailers and stuff and we don't see gameplay or whatever, and we're like, yeah.
Did we see anything about that? Did we see anything about Contraband?
Years ago. Yeah, years ago. So another Xbox game seems to be disappearing. With Bloomberg Jason Schreier's initial reporting on Thursday, Blue Sky. I love how they have to officially tell you it's on Blue Sky because no one's over there to know that he actually wrote it over there. That Contraband is also being canceled. This is also quickly followed by the official statement from developers, which confirmed that they worked on the project was ceased. Okay, it says, quote, active development has stopped while we evaluate the project's future. We're also thankful for the excitement that we've seen from the community. We'll also give updates on what's next and soon as we can. And the statement says, sources tell Windows Central that the production is on hold. Well, is it on hold or is it canceled? Which one is it? The article says canceled, right? Game, Contraband game canceled. Not a question mark. There's no question mark there.
Alleged.
But down here, right? Right. No alleged, it's claimed, rumor, nothing. It says it's canceled. And then down here it says production is on hold. Quote, production is on hold. So which one is it? Is it on hold or is it canceled?
Well, how do you feel about a company that's making a game and then in the middle of the development cycle, some number cruncher comes over and goes, where the game is and how far you guys have to go before it's finished and what we're going to guess what we're going to sell isn't going to work out. So it is cheaper right now for us to stop on year 4 and cancel this game than it is to let you finish it out and sell it and recoup the money. Think about that. Think about it. They're canceling a game 4 years in because it's cheaper to get rid of it now than to keep paying for it and then sell it.
Right. Put it on hold. Movies do this all the time. They take scripts and put it on the shelf. Right, so put it on hold, adding it to there's no additional layoffs of the Xbox team coming as part of this decision. Contraband was first announced all the way back during the Xbox Showcase in 2021 with CGI trailers set to Steely Dan's Do It Again and showed a frozen moment in time with criminal crew prepping for a heist. Notably, Contraband has also been seen since the initial
trailer again. I gotta look at the trailer again after the show.
I mean, we could put it on with no music because they'll definitely hit us. Recent months at the time was also clear and disappearance. It's just a cutscene though, like a cinematic trailer, so there's nothing really to see. Contraband was set in a fictional world in the 1970s, described as a co-op smuggler's paradise. The game was also being developed by Avalanche Studios, the studio group behind open world titles like Just Cause franchise. Contraband was also being published under the Xbox Game Studio Publishing umbrella. The same team is also working with Temco and Platinum Games on the upcoming Ninja Gaiden 4. And Kojima's production of the experimental horror title OD. Publishing team is also working on Stoic, on the action RPG brawler Towerborn, which also launched into early access on Xbox consoles earlier this year and arriving on PC Steam last year. So again, Contraband says it's canceled, but the people that worked for Contraband said it's put on hold. So obviously it's not canceled, right? It's just on hold.
Look, I can't even begin to understand that this is where we are. First of all, we used to never know when a game was canceled, right? Like they would say a game is out, and then they would just stop talking about it. And then you would be like, well, wasn't there a game out that was supposed to come out? And everyone just stayed quiet. It doesn't come out. You don't ask any more questions, and you just move on. Your brain moves on to the next thing. Now we are nickeling, diming every name that we see. Somebody's taking a list down. Like if they said 40 games since January, he's got all 40 down, and then he's doing like a Deadpool list. Like, and everyone's looking at the list like, oh, another one gone, another one gone, another one gone. Yeah. Like, who cares? If your game isn't coming out or canceled, I don't care. It's not out.
I just wanted to let you guys know I didn't eat lunch today.
Right? I don't care.
You didn't know I was eating lunch, but I'm letting you know that my lunch didn't happen, so I didn't have lunch today.
Is there so little going on in the world in gaming that an article has to be written about a game that no one's going to know about, care about, and you're going to just tell me it's not there, but that's the article? Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Tell me something else that's going on. There's 10,000 things happening on a daily basis, and you're talking about a game that no one remembers, and we don't even going to see, and you tell me it's canceled. If it's not out, I don't care.
But it's not canceled, Sarge. It's just on pause.
Whatever, dude.
The next story is ASUS ROG Ally, or I'm sorry, the ASUS ROG Xbox Ally X. Can we just... Like how long can a title be for a system? Hey, did you guys get the ASUS ROG Xbox Ally X? Release date has been revealed. Okay, the ASUS ROG Xbox Ally and Xbox Ally X will release in October, and it's known to data miners as the exact date. Oh, the exact date, even though it's from data miners, which is not confirmation, which is just rumor because it's not official because they haven't said anything, right? Right, so again, an article that says the date has been revealed. Hacked early access will launch on October 16th. Pre-orders will open on August 20th during the Gamescom, with prices lining up with past rumors of $599 Xbox Ally and $899 for the Xbox Ally X. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a handheld.
Just put the money towards a PC and stop it.
The report clarifies that the date they have is for a European market, though. It could expect that to be released in other regions, including North America, on the same date. The date is expected to be officially announced at Gamescom later this month. Xbox is set to hold a stream from the show's August 20th and the day after opening night live. It's worth mentioning that either Microsoft or ASUS has confirmed the release date. That's exactly right. So it's a article again. ASUS ROG Ally release date has been revealed. Potentially, not confirmed. No one's actually a person hacked or data mined stuff to find out what the release date could be, and now they tell you, well, they haven't actually officially told you anything. That's right. So it's just again, it should say ASUS ROG Ally Xbox Ally X release date rumored to be revealed on this day, but they don't put that because they want you to put that, hey, we know the date, but we don't know the date, but we know the date, but not really. But yeah,
I'm on the mindset though. If I have a handheld system, that I'm gonna have a handheld system that just keeps me busy. That decent stuff, right? Like if I spend the money like I did on a PC, and the monitor and the sound and my headset and the chair, and I get everything ready because when I play games on my PC, I get all situated. The lights go out, right, and like. I don't know I'd want to spend $1,000 for the little handheld thing, right? Just because I could play PC games on my handheld. Like, don't you realize how much money I spent to get the PC to begin with?
When I play games, like sometimes, I mean, I have my computer chair, but I also have a regular chair in my office, right? And my screen can turn.
Do people have enough disposable income to throw away $1,000 on a handheld system?
Well, I turn because I don't want to sit at a desk when I play. Like when I stream, obviously I sit at a desk, but when I play games, I just turn the screen to my couch.
Is there enough of them?
Right? And there's a lot of people that I get that want to play on a smaller screen. Not this guy. I'm not spending $900.
I grew up on small screens. You guys are out of your mind.
$900. I'm not buying a small screen to go like this, and then my neck is crooked down looking down, and then I got a kink in my neck. Fuck that. I'm too old to get a kink in my neck. Okay? Like I get kinks in my neck by just that's it right there. I just pulled it too fast because I looked to the left. Okay, like I don't need to do that with the older, like looking down at the thing. One, I get carpal tunnel. Right, I'm an old guy. Right, I'm only 47. But
you're old.
Holding
terms, you're old.
Yeah, holding. Look at this, man. It's
I'm
heavy. This
I'm
iPad
undead.
is lighter than that thing. To hold your iPad like this out in front of you, it's heavy. People don't hold books anymore because books are too heavy. You understand that? Do you understand the comprehension of that? People don't read books because the books are too heavy. They're ounces. Okay, they're ounces, and people don't read books because they're too heavy. You think they're going to sit there? They're going to be on the couch. Better. You're going to have it on your stomach. Okay, you're going to be looking down, and you're going to be playing there for 2 hours. And then when you're done with it, all of a sudden your hands are stuck like this. Okay, and your neck is got a kink in it, and you're like, I just spent $900 for this. Fuck that! I'm getting a big ass screen TV and playing my games either on a console or PC.
Yeah, but handheld games are a young man's game, bro.
They're the young man people that can't afford houses, cars, drinks.
Well, that's what I keep hearing. I keep hearing that the younger generations are just
can't afford anything. That's what I hear.
They can't afford anything. They can't live. But meanwhile, an $800 system is right up their alley.
I can buy that tomorrow.
I mean, I guess.
Eggs are $8. Console $900. Yeah, we'll buy that tomorrow. Eggs, milk, right? Someone bought milk. Someone said they saw milk the other day for $13. Yeah, and they bitched about that $900 for the console. I think
it was either Jason or Dustin, one of them crazy people who talking in stream, tell me $13 for milk. Who was it? Yeah, housing is insufferable. But an $800 but a $900 handheld's just like is it gonna be flying off the shelves? Like, where do you want to be as far as gaming goes, right? We all know that Nintendo said, well, wherever they go, they can have a Nintendo. That's why Nintendo did what Nintendo did. Is because you can go anywhere with Nintendo games because they don't need the kind of power that the rest of these games that you guys are chomping at the bit for need, right? That's why Nintendo did what they did, right? They figured if they went everywhere, if the system could go anywhere you want, they're golden because on the go, families, whatever else, put it in the taco, take it out of the taco, you got gaming. But as someone like an older person who mortgage, kids, right, health insurance, and I still play games, I'm buying a system that I want. I want to play with the games I want to play with, and I want to play in the best version, like the games that the system that they played Battlefield 6 on. That's what you want. Right. You want that in your house, right? Yeah. If I'm going to spend $2,000, $2,500, $3,000, good, get it and go. But you can't tell me that you want. Let's review now. I want a handheld that's $900 that plays the same games that I'm going to play on my computer that I spent years.
Well, maybe they don't have a computer.
Right? Because you want to. Because you're just saving up money to throw it away on a handheld.
At $900 for a handheld, right?
So let me ask you, how long do those sticks last on a handheld, guys? You guys with your little rock and sock'em robots, what do you got going on?
Depends if they use those ones that you can replace or not, you know?
Yeah. Listen, I'm all for gaming, but the price points are out of control. I don't care what they think about. If you're talking about, the prices were going insane way before tariffs. Okay, prices doubled way before tariffs. Right, like.
We didn't even talk about the Nintendo.
Don't lose it yet. Don't lose it yet. All I'm going to say is this, right? Because of all the extra money that was printed, okay, in the 4 years of who, Uncle Grandpa, okay, you guys have to understand this.
Crazy
that
Uncle Nintendo.
Right? The stat that should scare you is, I think it was something like 48% or 58% of all money printed ever was printed during those 4 years, which is why everything fucking doubled. Okay. So in my mind, I would love it if the Orange Man bad would just harvest the tariff money, bring it into a stadium with truckloads of garbage trucks, dump the money onto the field,
so
and set it on fire and burn it and tell everybody we're burning all the money so there's less money so the prices can come down. Like, that's the shit we need, right? Because 15% tariff, 15 cents on a dollar, you guys are fucking freaking out. Double everything in your life. It's completely fine. Like, zero in on reality, guys. The terrorists don't mean shit.
So Jones says I get more gaming hours because I have a handheld. Without it, I could open play on Saturday and Sunday maybe. Well, here's the thing, Jones. I'm not complaining about a handheld existing. I'm complaining about a $900 handheld. Okay, if the handheld was $350, $400, $500, okay, First of all, Nintendo Switch 2 is out of their damn mind for $500 for that system. If this system was $500, okay, I could look at it and go, okay, it's feasible because there's way more you can do with the ROG Ally than you can do with the Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo Switch 2 only plays Nintendo Switch 2 games. The ROG Ally plays everything, even the Nintendo games, if you know where to look. All right? Like, it plays everything because it can. But for $500, the Switch only plays Switch games, and they're charging $70 to $80 for their games. $900 for a handheld is ridiculous. Okay, another ridiculous thing is Nintendo raising the prices of all their controllers, their games, their accessories, and their old system, right? They said this system is 7 going on to 8 years old, and we're going to raise it by $20, $30, and $50. You're out of your damn mind, crazy Uncle Nintendo. Okay? 8 years later, and prices are going up. And they have the audacity to tell you it's because of the tariffs, but they're not saying tariffs anymore, Sarge. They're saying because of the market conditions, okay? The market conditions. First of all, I just want to put out there that people understand how tariffs work, I hope, because tariffs are only charged for things that are coming into the country at that point, not things that have been in the country for the last 5 years in stock. When you go to Target and Walmart and all these places and you have Nintendo Switches there that are already on the shelves, and all of a sudden they magically go, they're $50 more now. Why? Tariffs. What? That's not how that works. No, we just shipped them in. You didn't. Those were there.
But that's
right?
how it works. That's how it works.
But that's what they do. It's bullshit.
That's how it works.
Bullshit.
Listen, it's only bullshit if you buy it. If you let it sit there, the magic of economics happens.
Yeah.
If you don't buy something, it goes on sale. I'm not sure if you're aware of this magical moment, but it happens every day as long as you're paying attention to the products you like, right? Like, I like chocolate donuts, just not from Dunkin' Donuts.
Right.
So when I go to the supermarket, sometimes I see them. The Entenmann's chocolate donuts, love them, right? I go look at them, $9. Like, I don't want you.
$9.
Like $8, $9, yeah. Then all of a sudden
For
they
the
come down a little
small
bit.
donuts for the
No,
small ones?
the box.
Yeah, the box.
Entenmann's
Is only, but the donuts are like, they're tinier now.
Not the mini ones. They're normal sized donuts, sized donut, right? Then all of a sudden, for some strange reason, because no one gives a fuck about Entenmann's, all of a sudden there's a giant end cap and a garage-shaped pillar. Piles of Entenmann's. Buy two, get two. Get these pieces of shit out of my store.
Yeah, because they're not selling because no one wants $9 donuts.
That's correct. So the same thing happens with anything else. So if you're pissed off about a price point for Nintendo, fuck Nintendo. Let that shit rot. Hey, guess what's coming up, guys? It happens every year. Fucking Thanksgiving's coming. Black Friday, and you know they want that shelf space for the new Nintendo stuff, they gotta get rid of that other stuff. They got to.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, here's the next story, Sarge. Sony admits its live service game Shift isn't going smoothly. No shit.
No shit. No shit.
No shit. During the latest
and that, folks, is our no shit moment of the night.
Yeah. During the last earnings call Thursday, Chief Financial Officer CFO Lin Tao said that in terms of transformation, the move towards more live service offerings is not entirely going smooth. But from a longer term perspective, if you look at the changes over the 5 years, you see that there's also definitely been change. Sure. Okay.
That's like 47 studios closed down. You mean that kind of change?
There's been change, good or bad. There's been change, right? There's been change.
Yep.
Tao then talked about the fact that 5 years ago, live service games were almost non-existent for PlayStation Studios, right? So there you go. The change was Helldivers. Everything else fell off the wayside, but Helldivers was the change, right? But now the studio with successful games such as Helldivers 2, Gran Turismo 7, Destiny 2, and MLB The Show. First of all, Gran Turismo 7 has always been a live service microtransaction type of game for the last, decade. Has it not? Did they just add stores to Gran Turismo? I could have sworn you could have bought stuff. I haven't played it since PlayStation 2 days, okay? But I could have sworn you could have bought stuff for Gran Turismo years ago. But I could be wrong. And then MLB The Show has been the same as well with the Ultimate cards, has been like that for years. Okay, so It says, so we have these 4 live service contributing to sales and profit in a stable manner, she said. Despite those successes, Tal says that Sony recognizes that the issues still remain, that they also need to learn lessons from moving forward. She says that the company has to make sure that they introduce live service content where there's less waste and it's more smooth. With that said, Tao is also clear to mention that the live service games made up roughly 40% of Sony's revenue for the first quarter. For the year, that she says that it's also in the range of 20 to 30%. Speaking of live service games, Sony says that Marathon is still planned to release, in which we have a story about that. So, what do you think about that, Sarge? The Sony says, well, it's may change. It's may change.
Well, if you don't give anyone options, if your newest games that come out for the year and you're only releasing 2 or 3 games a year, if 2 out of the 3 are a live service game, then of course you have to. People who love the systems are going to buy those games, right? Then, because they make so much money off the live service, and they then put a pin in it and tell you how awesome revenue is for live service games. Well, let's review. You only released live service games, and then you're mad that half of them don't make money because everyone's divided amongst live service games, but your whales still pay you a lot. That's why they still get all this revenue from those games.
Right.
Right. But once again, you made the comment a couple weeks ago about you have to have the minnows still in the game. The guys who don't buy shit have to play the game in order for the whale to want to stay in the game. So the answer is to kill a live service game is for if you don't buy anything for those games, go play something else, and the whale will die on the line. He'll go to something else, right? If you want change, especially in this industry, you can initiate change by your actions, right? I don't like live service games. I don't like loot boxes, but they keep moving the goalposts to a different thing that still answers to microtransactions.
Right. Battle pass, right? Season pass.
I buy a game. Yep. I own the game. I play the game. And when I'm done with it, I decide whether or not I put it on the bookshelf, in a closet, or I sell it to somebody. Now, you want me to rent a game, never sell it. Right. I don't own it. And then you turn it off whenever you feel like it. And I harvest all the money either way. And that's where you are. And then you say, yeah, that sounds like a great deal. You are the problem. You're the problem. That's just the way it is. If you want things to change, you can't give them revenue and nothing in return.
Right.
You're just renting the game. You basically turned yourself into a monthly subscription model. I want to be entertained, so I'm going to just throw $150 until they tell me I can't take your $150 anymore because we're not playing that game anymore.
Right.
But we have a new game you can give me $150 for.
It's 175 now. Right. It's 175
thank you.
now.
Thank you for making another $150 game for me. I appreciate it. You're mental.
Well, the next story, Marathon. Okay, Marathon CEO says Marathon is expected to release before March, and Bungie Independence is getting lighter. Remember, Marathon was supposed to release in September, and when they first announced it, we didn't know Grand Theft Auto's date yet, and we also didn't know Borderlands 4's date yet, and Borderlands 4 was supposed to be the same exact date as Marathon, but then they moved it, right? Then they moved it 3 weeks ahead for Borderlands 4. Marathon was still open. We didn't know about Grand Theft Auto. Then Grand Theft Auto moved to February. Marathon had the art thing that was happening, and then all of a sudden now they delayed it because they didn't have enough time, right? So they have to still make the game and whatnot. And now it's getting pushed before March. This almost sounds like if you just remove Marathon and say Battlefield 6 is expected to release before March next year, this is the exact same type of thing, same exact story, right? So it says now we are now fixing the problem, so we believe in the launch will happen. Okay, Sony Chief Financial Officer has said that she expects Marathon to release by the end of March of 2026. In a QA session following the company's latest financial results, Sony executives were asked about the current state of Marathon following the shooter official delay, whether that's a factor of Sony's forecast of the current fiscal year. The caller also asked if the update of the management of Bungie as well as the Sony would do with the worst-case scenario in Marathon was to be canceled outright. Okay, CEO Lynn Talos responded by saying Marathon is planned to release within the current fiscal year with ends of March 31st, 2026. It says first, but Marathon, now we are factored into the forecast. We expect the launch to happen within the fiscal year, and she replied. But having said that, it's not a commitment. No official announcement has been given yet, right? So we're forecasting for March, but it's not official. It could get pushed back even further, or it could be canceled, right? because she went through all of that and then said at the end there, no, this is not a commitment, right? No official announcement has been given yet.
Are you
She
making
also
a
added,
game or not?
well,
What do you
they're making
mean
it-
there's
they're
no
making it right now.
commitment? Are you
right?
making a game or not? I'm a stockholder, right? I have Activision stock. I'm like, hey, are you guys making a game this season, this year, this
we
month?
are, but we're not committing
right?
to that. Yeah, it's still no.
How
We're not
can
committing to it.
you need a commitment? I'm a fucking stocks. I hold stock.
We're committed to you, but we're not committing. We're committed to you, but we're not committed about this game yet. We don't know yet. Okay.
Right.
She said she added that we're now doing modifications in development, and based on the progress in the autumn time frame, we believe that the communicated when the launch will be marathon either from Bungie or from PlayStation. In regards to Bungie, Tal reiterated Sony's decision to take more control over the studio's management, within the eventual aim being to completely integrate it into PlayStation. So Bungie's gone. Bungie's getting, it's like Galactus is coming in and eating the planet, right? Or, just taking Bungie and they're just integrating them in. About this government of Bungie, the time to acquisition was also offering a very independent environment. So that was one way of thanking Tao to explain. However, thereafter, we have gone through structural reform as they announced last year. So the independence is getting lighter, and Bungie is shifting into a role within becoming more part of PlayStation Studios, and integration is proceeding. So in the long term, if you can see it, an ongoing process, the direction for Bungie is to become part of PlayStation Studio. So there you go. So we're committed, but we're not committed. Marathon is coming out potentially before March, but we don't want to commit to that. But it's still being made.
I want somebody's head on a pike. It's not the developer's fault. It's the management's fault. Show me the management get fired.
They'll get the
Show
golden
me the
parachutes.
managers get fired.
They'll get their golden parachutes. They'll get their stock options when they sell off their stocks to Sony, when Sony takes the integration over and takes Bungie within the corporation.
At this point, it's just obscene. Okay, every year another development studio goes out of business. They get chopped up, integrated, whatever words you want to use, but the management stays. The management made the decision. You made the wrong decision, and multiple times. It's not like it's your first soiree into management, right? You fucked up. You got to go. We want somebody else in charge. Why does 250 people have to move to a different state? Because you guys and your ideas on how to squeeze more money out of the tit didn't work.
Right.
Right? How does that work? Without them, you don't even have a fucking product. So why is your bad idea on them?
Well, right now, Bungie's struggling because the latest DLC or the latest expansion, whatever came out, not doing too hot for them. And then Marathon delayed, not doing good for them.
You ended the series. It's like you ended the trilogy. You ended the timeline that everybody was in on. Now you want everybody to get in on the new timeline, but no one likes it because we've been playing it for 10 years.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Destiny 2 reminds me of what happened to Marvel after Phase 1, 2, and 3, right? Like, Destiny was Phase 1, 2, and 3 of Destiny.
It was
and now
fine.
they ended it.
It's over.
Right?
Right,
It's over.
It's over.
And now they're making the Marvels. They're making the Internals. They're making the stuff for which they just
And
kind of
nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares about it. Right? I mean, don't get me wrong. There are people that are playing it, but the masses are not playing anymore. No, those people don't care anymore.
So just look at it this way. How upset can you be? How upset can you be that you had a game going on for 10 years? You raked in reoccurring revenue on a level that was unprecedented for a video game for that time. Then the story that you wrote and said out loud to millions of people, 10 years. We got to the 10-year mark. There's the finish line. Whether you crossed it walking, crawling, or they dragged your body across the finish line, it's over. That part of the game is over. So now it's time for you to be an actual studio, go into the closet, think of something else, and come back out with an idea. You don't get to drag the dead carcass around with you for another decade trying to collect the money on it.
It's like Weekend in Bernie's.
Like, what are you trying to do?
You guys be
you
Bernie here?
made all your money.
Let me introduce you to Destiny.
Yeah. Not only did you make money, right? But you were bought and sold multiple times because of the revenue of that game made. Otherwise, Destiny and Bungie would have died a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
But they were able to resuscitate themselves multiple times. And so now everyone should be punished because you guys still want to drag a dead carcass around and try to make money on it because you don't want to actually try to invent anything else. And the one thing you actually invented, you stole all the art from all these other people and then want us to feel bad for you?
Yeah. Well,
get the fuck out of here.
So here's the funny part, right? Destiny was supposed to, or Bungie, I should say, Bungie left Microsoft so they could publish their own games. Then they couldn't do it, and they made a deal with Activision so they could publish games. And then they left Activision so they could publish their own games. Then they sold Bungie to Sony, and now Bungie has never has never published their own like other games besides themselves, right? Like
because the money was too good.
It went from we're going to be on our own to Bungie doesn't exist anymore because it's being swallowed by Sony. It's crazy. It's crazy.
The call of the live service money is so great that you are willing to slaughter your own family in order to get it.
Yeah.
No matter how many times they fail, the next idea is always another live service because the money call is too great. Nobody's allowed to make a game and sell a game because who just wants to make a profit when I can make a killing?
Well, here's the next story, Sarge. Marvel, is it Tokon? Tukon? Chat, how would you pronounce that? Is it Tukon?
It's Tokon.
Tokon.
Yes.
Okay. Marvel Tokon will be supported, okay, into PlayStation 6 generation and beyond. I'm not going to read the article. I just want to look at the title for a second, okay? We're in Generation 5, whatever it is, right? PlayStation 5, okay? It's not coming out for Xbox. It's just PlayStation, right? What I don't like about this, and again, I'm not going to read the article. I just want to talk about the title and why I don't like this, because you're taking a game, and by the way, I think this game looks fire. I think it looks awesome, right? Big Capcom versus Marvel fan back in the day. I like the tag team thing they're doing here. I like the art style. I think it looks great, okay? What I don't like about what they're doing here is that Marvel Token will be supported into PlayStation 6 generation and beyond. We're in Generation 5 right now. We don't even know about PlayStation 6 yet, okay? So let's just say we're at the tail end of this generation. And let's say PlayStation 6 comes out in 2027, okay? Maybe even 2026 at the tail end. So we're at the end of the life of this console, and now you're saying that it's going to be in the PlayStation 6, which is fine. But then you're saying and beyond. What does beyond mean? Is this a Destiny 10-year plan? Is this a Halo 10-year plan? Is this a pick a game that says 10-year plan? Because let's be honest, we don't know if a game is going to be successful or not, okay? Especially just looking at it, because I might like it. It might be the greatest thing that I've ever seen. But you don't know if this is going to last 10 months, let alone beyond the next 2 generations of consoles, right?
I understand what they're trying to do.
Yeah, they're trying to build up hype for it. Like, we're behind this.
No,
we're behind this.
It's not about hype. The guys who are sitting in the offices are thinking the same thing. They know how much it costs to make a hero shooter. They know how much it costs to make a fighting game, like a movie, right? Like you make a horror movie, bro. You said it in the past. Like horror movies are the cheapest movies to make, and if you have a good writer, that horror movies can make the greatest profits for you because you don't put so much money into them, right? That's what you said a while back, right? The horror film, the horror genre, right?
Yeah.
So if a fighting game,
they said it right here,
right? If a fighting game only costs so much, but let's say that fighting game costs like 40 million or 50 million, right? I'm just ballparking. I'm don't take me as fact, right? If they can take the 40 or 50 million dollars and make a game and then just make it a live service, new characters, we take away, we add, we do different things throughout the year. And then when it looks like it might be a little old, we do like a revamp and we enhance the graphics because it's always online, right? We can just change how the game looks, right? Because you guys are just signed up for it, right? That's what it is. So maybe for the whole first year, we do the original Marvel guys, Dr. Doom versus a Captain America thing, right? And then after that, we do the second generation of characters and have those guys fighting, right? But you have like the main event is those guys. You can still play the other characters on the side, but the main event that we focus on is whatever we decide for that year. Like, I get what they want to do, but you do not get to dictate how long your game is going to last. The population and the community around decide whether or not that game lives or dies.
Like,
period.
Real quick, right? Look at games like DC Universe Online or DC Online, right? No one knew that was going to last more than 10 years. No one knew that people would still be playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 8 years later. Nobody knew that No Man's Sky would still be around this far along, right? These are all games that people love playing today. Still, Fortnite, still the top of the world, right? But Fortnite didn't come out with a plan of Battle Royale lasting 10 years. They came out with a plan after 8 years of making Fortnite save the world, okay?
Just to try to survive.
And it got destroyed in 3 months, and then they pivoted to the Battle Royale Fortnite, right? So here's the article. I didn't read this article. I didn't know they actually said it just based on the title. I was like, what are they talking about? It says right here, Arc System Works is aiming to keep their uber-existing PlayStation 5 brawler Marvel Fighting Souls alive for at least 10 years, meaning it's almost certainly be supported with PlayStation 6 generation and beyond. Okay, speaking of the stage, Evo, the weekend producer, Takashi says that they translated the PlayStation Studios read bard. Okay, the fighter doesn't currently have a release date, but it's expected to be available for Evo 2026 and should be launched within the next 12 months or so. Okay, closed beta will take place on PlayStation 5 in September. Obviously, Sony has yet to officially acknowledge that the PlayStation 6 even exists, okay? And the system is expected to release around 2027, right? So there you go. While 10 years does sound like a really long time, it's not enormously surprising. Like, what are we talking about, man? 10 years is fucking forever. I have a 10-year-old son right now, okay? And let me tell you, it wasn't a blink of an eye. It was a long fucking process to get him to 10 years old, okay? And to think that every game is going to be this 10-year success story, and they don't even last 10 months for most of these things, right? Nobody that said 10 years was going to last 10 years. And everyone that didn't think it was going to last 10 years, their game's around 10 to 12 years. Warframe, Destiny, right? You see what I'm saying?
But you do understand that instead of them having to make a fighting game every 4 or 5 years or so, they only have to make one fighting game and just collect revenue off of it.
I get that.
That's what they want.
Well, it's like when you interview...
You don't get to pick if that game's going to last, though. It doesn't make sense to announce that shit to everybody.
It's like asking a baseball player or a sports athlete, I should say, hey, what do you think about your team? I think we're going to win 10 Super Bowls in a row, right? Sure, that's a great thing to say. Phenomenally unlikable that you're going to make it that far, right? To live 10 in a row, right? Let alone 2 in a row or 3 in a row, right? Your whole organization might be to shit in 3 years, and you might be rebuilding for the next 7 after that, right? So for a company to come out and be like, yeah, we're making this fighting game, and we're going to make it, and we have a 10-year plan. Be like, bro,
but
make
a
game, sell a game. Make the game first, sell the game, and if it works, then it works. But don't jinx yourself, man. Don't jinx yourself. I want this game to succeed, but to say that you have a 10-year plan for it, I think that puts on so many bad looks, because if something goes wrong with the game right off the bat, or even if it lasts 10 months, people are like, oh, you see this? You made it to the first year. Great. You got 9 more to go. 9 more years. Do you think, question, chat, Sarge, do you think Marvel Rivals, which is a pretty big game right now, do you think that game exists 10 years from now?
There'll be a game that'll blow that game out of the water in 5 years.
Exactly.
That's how that works. That's how the gaming works, right? You make a game really good, somebody sees it, and so we got to make one better than this because that one sold well.
Right.
But instead, the call of the live service, bro.
Overwatch 1 didn't last 10 years. And that was the peak of the peak of stuff. And they had to make an Overwatch 2 because it just wasn't there.
But there's always something else coming down the line, right? What happens if the next fighting game is so incredible and so lifelike? Maybe it's VR, or maybe it's a super like virtual fighter, but to the 10th level where you can move the screen around and fight any way you want instead of just being 2D. Like, what happens then? Like, the attention span for everybody has been tick-tocked into oblivion. You think you're going to hang on to these people's attentions for 10 years with your 2D scrolling fighting game just because Marvel's on the cover? Like, I'm sure it'll be great, but you got to have brass balls to think that your words of saying that we're going to support it for 10 years. Every time we've ever heard someone say we're going to support it for 10 years, they go, well, we didn't get the reception that we wanted.
Yeah, we didn't get the reception we thought.
So we can't support it for 10 years. No shit, you can't support it for 10 years. You want to know why? Because life exists. Other games come out. People change their habits, change the games that they want to play. And you think you're going to just wander in here and collect money. It makes no sense anymore. Right?
Yeah.
And once again, another 300 people fired, not the manager.
Yeah. El Nini says if they add single player, possibly 10 years, even then it's a long shot. And I would love a PvE single player type of stuff, but that'd be a long shot. Look, even Skyrim, Todd Howard, when they made Skyrim, Bethesda made Skyrim, they even said we didn't know it was going to last this long, and they were like, and we couldn't monetize it, right? They had to re-release it.
They were mad.
They were mad. They had to re-release it and try to make more money off the thing.
That's correct.
And that wasn't their plan to last 10 years. They went with it because the customers wanted to keep playing it.
So how many times did it come back out again? That they made money on it again?
3 or 4 or 5 times. I don't know.
Right? I'm waiting for the stat to come out that shows that Skyrim re-released itself more times than a live service made money on their own game. Right? Because, once again, like you said, they didn't know it was going to last that long. This game, the game that wouldn't die. And so why do you think they went to something else? Because, like, well, we can't release. Think of it this way. Like, the next game, after they released Skyrim, remember this. After Skyrim, they were like, well, we have to come up with something that ends, and then we can do something else, because otherwise they'll be playing these games forever. I'm like, yeah, that's the idea. You made a game so great that it's timeless. Like, that should be the pinnacle of gaming. You made a game that's timeless. Everyone's like, yeah, we love the game. Good job. Right? No, we can't have that. We have to make a game like Fallout 76 and instill every single type of live service thing imaginable. They're like, well, we're not going to give you another Fallout game. We're going to give you a live service Fallout game, right? So what do you think is going to happen when they decide to release this next Elder Scroll game? What do you think is going to happen?
Right.
Do you believe that Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be a single-player game? You guys are dreaming.
El Dente says
game.
The only one that did was 10 years is Destiny, and now we wish it ended 2 years ago. Yeah, we didn't want it to be 10 years. Like, yeah, right? They actually had time to tell us what they didn't have time to tell us from original. The next story, Sarge. Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact being removed and supported ending on PlayStation 4. Now, here's my take on this, right? Just the title. I'm not reading the actual article. Didn't read the article. Okay, maybe I'll read it afterwards. But Genshin Impact being removed to support ending on PlayStation 4. Now, last November, I believe, October, November, it came on Xbox, okay? I would assume that the player base that's playing Genshin Impact on PlayStation 4 is being replaced by the amount of people that are playing it on the next-gen Xbox, because they moved it over. Because it was only on PlayStation, it was on PC, it wasn't on Xbox. But now they're removing it from PlayStation 4, and I feel like within the last year, almost a year now, that they have enough interest on the Xbox platform that it can cover removing the people from PlayStation 4 to force people that are still playing on PlayStation 4 to go, hey, you know what? I really like Genshin Impact. I'm going to pay for a new system because that's where I want to play it on, right? And then they'll buy a PlayStation 5 to get them away from the PlayStation 4. Now, I don't know how big that market is, but PlayStation, I would assume that Genshin Impact is up there because it's one of the games that people keep playing, okay? So it's a big audience, and there's like 50% of the people that owned a PlayStation 4 haven't moved to a PlayStation 5 yet, right? There's something like 60 million people. There's 150 or 120 million people bought a PlayStation 4, okay, or something like that, and half of them are still over on PlayStation 4. They haven't moved over to PlayStation 5 yet, okay? So much so that the people that came over to PlayStation 5 have bought a PlayStation 5, sold that PlayStation 5, and bought a PlayStation 5 Pro before these people bought a PlayStation 5, okay? 50% of the people. So I think this is a maneuver for PlayStation to be like, hey, we're taking this game, we're going to be closing it down over on PlayStation 4. If you want to play it, this is being covered now. The people that they're closing down over here is being covered by the people over here over on Xbox and other places, and now they're trying to get these people to move over to PlayStation. Do you think I'm onto something, or do you think, nah, they're just fucking closing it because they, whatever reason?
No, because you have to give people a reason to move on to the next-gen system. And if you take away a beloved game that they play every fucking day and they're addicted to it, and you tell them they can only play it on the other one, I'm pretty sure the little voice in the guy's head's gonna be like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to buy another system.
Right.
Or can I play Genshin Impact on a handheld? Right? Can I play? I'm not familiar with Genshin. Is it? Can I play on a handheld? Can I play it on like a?
You just need online, I believe. It's a free to play thing, so right. So they weren't charging. I don't know. Chat. Anyone playing Genshin Impact? Do you need to have like PlayStation Plus or Xbox Game Pass?
I think you can play
to play. I think you have to have Game Pass for Xbox to play this, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure though. I don't want to say officially that you have to, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you only need the internet.
It's free to play. You only need internet. There you go. Okay.
Yeah. So if I have a PlayStation 4 and you take the game away from me, but I can still play other games on PlayStation
Salty
4.
says you can play on a handheld for $899.
Yeah. Yeah.
No need for PlayStation Plus. Okay.
I still think we are dealing with the same issue we've always dealt with, right? We have illusionary numbers based on COVID because everybody stayed home. Like this is the real issue, guys. This is the real issue. The numbers of people who played video games during the COVID years have exploded the actual gaming pool that we actually have. Do people have systems? Yes. Were they hardcore gamers that always bought systems? No. They just happened to buy a system because they were home doing nothing else, right? So they got involved in gaming, board gaming, video gaming, whatever kind of gaming you think, they were involved in something. So now we have this inflated number of what they think the market of people are. And then we have this number of live service games that are out there that take up people's time. If you play a live service game, I'm pretty sure you're playing at least several hours a week, if not more. If your time is divided up amongst other games, you cannot sustain an infinite number of live service games. The pool isn't that big, right? And so they're not going to stop doing what they do until they finally find out the ceiling that they have to hit. And they're like, well, we're not making any money spending $100 million trying to make a live service game that we only have a pool for only 100,000 people to play. It's not sustainable, right? Instead of just make a game and sell a game, we're trying to hang on to 3, 4, 5 million people. But those people, their attention is divided amongst the games that they like. You don't have time to be part of all these live service games that they want you to be part of. So another studio closes down. Another studio closes down. Another studio closes down. And we're supposed to be surprised. Like, it's the way that the market is being treated. There are not that many people who play games like you think that play. We already have the numbers. We've had the numbers for years. The number hasn't gone up that much because remember, normal people age out. Normal people who play games age out. The smaller bracket of people who play games while they're older, right?
Right.
I'm a small group. I'm my new group. Otherwise, people age out of gaming, right? Right? You don't see 1,001 streamers who are 45 plus hanging out playing video games on YouTube. They got other shit there going on.
Real quick, I want to tell you that so Game Pass Ultimate. So you don't need Game Pass to play Genshin Impact. It is free, okay. But Game Pass Ultimate members can link their Xbox profile to the account to receive recurring rewards via their in-game mailbox. Game Pass Ultimate members can also play with Xbox Cloud Gaming. So there's benefits. So you can play the game without being a Game Pass member, but if you are an Ultimate member, you get extra bonuses there. So I didn't know that. So you go.
Anything to move people over.
Yeah.
Right? What's the adoption rate? Do they have adoption rate numbers? Like, I know you told me that only half the people moved over, but like, what's the number of people? Like, they don't know, right? But they do know.
They know, but they won't tell them.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, in
we
today's
don't know.
market,
we don't know.
Well, what I'm saying is, in today's market, if John Smith bought a PlayStation 3, and then John Smith bought a PlayStation 4, same address,
yeah,
right? And then he bought PlayStation 5. Like, you know what system he had And when he moves on to the next system, you guys know.
Yeah, because they're linking their account. So if your gamer tag, my gamer tag's been with Xbox and PlayStation for 15 years.
So they know that they know the adoption
they 100%
moves
know.
on.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on over to Battlefield. Okay. So Battlefield 6 producer says Bad Company 2 was a huge inspiration for the new game, and you can't argue with that logic. Now, reading this and going, okay, yeah, right. I've said in the past that I want the game to be more like that game because to me, that game is like the pinnacle of Battlefield, right? Due to the technology they did with it and whatnot. Battlefield 6, when I played it today, early on, I'm level 7 or 8 now in the game, right? I played for a couple hours. I played a couple matches before the morning stream. I played a lot more afterwards. I have to say, that ground base, the foundation, I can see if what they, like, remember, 90% of the people that are building this game, Battlefield 6, have never made a Battlefield game before, okay? So I would assume that Vince Zampella, who is known for Respawn Entertainment, was known for Apex Legends, which is known for the Titanfall series and Call of Duty series, everything this man touches basically is well produced. Titanfall didn't do very well because of just what happened to it. Right, the launch and stuff like that, but it was still a good game. Okay. But Vince Zampella was like, all right, how do we fix this? What did people like? And again, I'm speculating here. I don't know if this is exactly what happened, but I'm assuming he went, hey, Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, this is where the gold moment was, okay? This is where the dome folded over and it went up 7 million to 17 million to 14 million. That was the thing. Let's focus. Let's try to recreate what these games did. And I have to say, playing for about 5-6 hours, I think they did the base level. Now, everyone that's not a Battlefield fan, Sarge, that's on this hype train right now, looks at this and goes, it's fucking amazing, it's great, and this. The cynic of me, who's played every single Battlefield game, goes, fantastic. They got it back to 0.
Yeah,
right?
Where we left
where it was when we left it, when we actually liked the last Battlefield, right? Yeah. My last Battlefield that I like was Battlefield 1. Love it, right? Going back, I was telling Sarge before the show, I was thinking about it after playing this. I was like, man, the maps don't feel as big, right? And we'll talk about that in a second, okay? But Battlefield 1 did everything correct. Like, minus obviously it's World War I, the weapons weren't as fantastic as the other things, but the maps were gigantic. They were Battlefield, okay? Battlefield 5 did maps well as well, but the gunplay wasn't very good, and every other mechanic they were doing was very good, and they tried to do stuff, and they told you not to buy the game. And 2042, the more I look at it and the more I talk about it, the more I think it should be below Hardline, because it's not Battlefield. They try to go away too much from it, right? So the ground foundation of Battlefield 6 does feel like a Bad Company 2, does feel like a Battlefield 3, right? You've seen enough. You haven't played it yet.
I'll play this weekend.
Do you see? Well, I guess I can't. You really can't say based on what you saw. Does it look? And I'm not talking about graphic wise. Do you get a feeling when you look at this, Sarge, that it's Battlefield, or are you like me, where you're more cynical and stuff like that, where you look at it and go, I'm not falling for it, but literally when you look at it, go, yeah, I kind of get excited about it.
Well, I have seen all the Battlefield games. I know how they hype things up, and I know they needed a win for this. The questions that I have are not that if the game is a Battlefield game. My questions are that of what they had to do to get it to this point, and why did it take 4 studios to make a game that one studio did and walked away from it?
Yeah,
that we needed
4 studios to get it back to 0.
We needed 4 studios to get it back to where we left it. Right? That's the first question, right? For me, does it look like Bad Company 2? Or does it feel like the old
grounded like
yeah. So the answer is yes, right? They made that abundantly clear by the maps that they chose and the computers that they were running. They wanted to make sure that you saw it the way that you want to see it in your head, right? and I found out there was 200 computers in that room, right? 200 computers.
Not 100, there was 200?
No, it was 100. 200, right?
Okay.
So they made sure that they had everything set up to when they showed gameplay that everything went off without a hitch, right? That's what you have to do, right? You have to show me that you know how to make a Battlefield game, right? But at the same time, there's a list that goes underneath the Battlefield game. Like, what does it do? The gadgets, are they overpowered? The skill sets that they keep saying that the different classes have. The open or closed gun system, are they doing it or not? They haven't answered that question fully. The number of maps on release is only 9, and 2 of them are semi-large maps, not large maps, right? So you did an inversion of the 2042 thing where the maps are so huge no one gave a shit because no one's fighting anything, and then you have these long periods of time where people are just running around, and they hate that.
Well,
so
they
now
had
they
poor
made
design of maps. That's
poor design of maps. I got it. But now we're dealing with 9 maps, 2 of which are semi-large, not large, and you don't get Firestorm until later.
Well,
right?
Here's the thing I want to talk about real fast. Or continue, and then I'll ask. Go ahead.
So the issue that I have is I don't fall for the honeymoon phase. Just because I want a Battlefield game doesn't mean I throw money at the screen at the first glimpse that I might see a tit. Okay, I am not gonna just bow down and say you guys have won me over until I see everything on the list that's supposed to happen with this type of game, right? The 2042 game was an MVP of all MVPs for a Battlefield game. They were trying to throw out a game with nobody giving a shit and running it on title alone, and they realized that they couldn't do that. And now what they think is an apology is them showing us that it takes 4 studios to do the job of 1 studio. And now I have a bunch of questions. Well, who do we have working that you need 4 studios to do the job of 1 studio? Right? I want Battlefield. I want vehicles. I want tactics. I want squad play. You can put kill streaks in there if you want. I want Battlefield moments. I want to be able to defend and attack a point with different vehicles. Different vehicles spawn at different locations. Not paper mache tanks. Not raining debris for 25 minutes for the sake of raining for debris. Not these lightning strike grenades that are being thrown. Like, I don't know what kind of grenade that is. It's not a tactical grenade. It basically throws. It's basically like somebody's doing a fastball, but he's already letting go of the ball. The grenade just flies out of his hands like it's a fireball or something, right? We don't know. We don't know because you put everybody in the same box. CQB, everybody running around like it was Call of Duty. And most of the people that were in that room were Call of Duty players, not Battlefield players, right? It's been too long. It's going to take some time. I want to see the beta weekends go by, and I want to hear from people on the ground. Like it or don't like it. I want to see what's going to happen.
So Salty just sent me, he said, check your DMs. So I checked my DMs. This is happening in Battlefield right now in the beta. Okay. I'm going to bring this up. There's no audio for you guys. Okay. So there's already cheating going on in day 1 of the beta. Here we go.
Well, it's crossplay. So
he can see all the people on the map and where they are and where they're going. So basically a wall hack. Day 1 beta, right? Secure boot my ass, okay? Because they have whatever they're using for their. Look at this. This is day 1 beta happening right now in Battlefield 6, okay? And it's funny because it says here the footage proves that cheats in fully functional day 1 early access beta, right? And it says it's over before it even started, right? So. Look, you have to let the 2 beta weekends go by.
Your Honor, you have to.
I want to remove this off the docket for right now. We'll talk about the cheats and stuff a little bit later. But yeah, obviously this was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. Javelin is their stuff. Okay. My problem right now is if they get the game back, right, got back to 0. Right, it's back to Battlefield 1 days. Let's say, okay, just the way that it was.
Between 1 and 4.
No. What I'm saying, Battlefield 1 as a general is a awesome Battlefield moment. Right, the large scale maps, the the big vehicles that come in to balance out the certain things and stuff like that.
Hokey, but still fun.
Yeah, it's just fun, right? If let's say this is as good as Battlefield 1, right, but set in the 3-4 era type of stuff. The maps now, if they're smaller, right, because there's this chart I pulled up about a week ago, right, and it showed like originally there was like 17 maps at the launch of Battlefield, and as the years went on, up until Battlefield Bad Company, and then 3 had 9, and then 4 had 9, and then Hardline had 7 or whatever it was, and they sold or whatever certain expansions to those things, but they had less maps at the start, and then they added more at the end, right? If they're putting Battlefield, and again, we don't know. We know one place I looked up said there's 15 maps, okay, but they say 9 are going to be at launch. Okay, 9 are going to be at launch, and let's say, 7 of the 9 are going to be what we're playing right now, which are not giant scales. They're pretty decent size, but they're not
COD maps.
Right, they're more COD-oriented maps. Then all of a sudden they bring in the larger scale maps. That's my problem right there. Like, here's the bar for Battlefield. Here's their bar that they got close to, because now they're backing down a little bit because they're not putting the large scale maps in there. Now I get it. A lot of people are hyped about it. A lot of people are excited about it. I was watching Tim the Tapman, who is not a Battlefield player. Okay, I watched Tim play a bunch of different games. Obviously, he's playing this one. He blew up today. He had 200,000 people watch him play it on Twitch, and he had another 30,000 people watch him play it on YouTube or whatever. Okay, I went and I saw this like progression as I was watching him throughout the day. Okay, in the beginning, he went from hype, like at the event, he's hype, but this morning he was playing. He's like, "This is awesome. This is awesome. This is great. I love it." Blah 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 blah. Okay. He's like, "No, truly, I really like this game." Then I saw the progression start to happen. Like he's like, "Bro, this is not like Call of Duty at all, right?" Because he's not a Battlefield player. So now he's comparing it to Call of Duty and stuff like that, just like everyone does. He starts to play it and goes, "Dude, the copters, the things, the tanks." He's like, it's much more. He's like, it's much more strategic, but you don't look at it. He goes, a lot of people think it's casual, but it's casual playing. But if you strategize with people, it lifts up the whole game, right? And I was like, there you go, Tim. He's understanding what Battlefield is, right? Then he starts to win, right? He's winning. He's top of the board, top 5, top 1, right? He's not playing with his friends right now. He's just playing solo with a bunch of people, but he's playing with people. You know what I'm saying? Like he's staying within his group. He's winning. He's winning. He's winning. Then his friends come on. He's playing with Nick Merge. He's playing with a bunch of people. And they win the first couple matches, but then they go on this like 10-game losing streak. But they're top squad. They're hitting everything. They're killing they have 12,000 more points than the next group below them on their team, but they lost every match. Right? And they're like sitting there going, I don't understand. I don't understand why we're losing. I'm like, because you're not playing as a team. Yeah, you're playing as a squad, but you're not playing as a team. You guys are doing your own thing, right? So you're losing because it doesn't matter what you do in Battlefield. If your team sucks, you could have the greatest game in the world. You could have 99 kills and still lose the match by 400 points. Okay? So I watched this like progression happen. Then Nick Burst was like screaming at a medic. He's like, I'm right next to you. I'm right next to you. Why don't you pick me up? Right? He's screaming at this guy at the top of his lungs. He's like, bro. He's like, all these players are coming in. They don't understand that they have a defibrillator because the support guy has a med pack, or you can drag someone and stab them, or you can use the defibrillators much faster. He goes, I don't think people know they have a defibrillator. They have it, but they don't know how to use it, right? And that's the problem. Obviously, new players coming in, they don't understand. Okay, this morning I showed a clip, and everyone was running down. A guy was shooting down the street. Groups were coming in, staying close to the wall, moving as squads and moving around and about. Okay, the people that play this like COD die 5 seconds. They're getting attacked from all different directions because they don't know what's happening. Okay, but the people that move together as a squad, they start owning and wrecking face. And when you move together as a team, and it was nice to see the progression of someone that never played Battlefield get it, and then think he gets it, and then lose it again, and then go, wait a minute, why are we not winning? Right? So then he understands. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to play shotgun, and goes around and starts killing a whole bunch of people, protecting just C and protecting certain points. But I was just like, these guys don't get it, and that's what's going to happen. A lot of people are going to play this game. They're not going to understand that it's not Call of Duty. They're not going to understand. But Battlefield is trying to get the Call of Duty players in here, right? That's why they're doing the smaller maps. That's why they're doing the close quarter match. That's why they're doing all this other stuff. The faster running. It's not as fast as Call of Duty, right? Because it was a big gap between the TTK and how they've kind of shrunk that down of getting closer to COD, but not quite as COD. You know what I'm talking about? Some of the guns feel that you could shoot a whole clip and not kill somebody, and then other ones like you shoot 2 bullets and
you haven't figured out the meta yet.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a gun for each class with their bonuses. I'm sure there will be.
Yeah, Krebsy says only 10% of the Battlefield players play like Battlefield players. Right, but the 10% can sway the game real big when they work together and play the game. Because a lot of people, what they do is they play solo, or they play with a group and they think, well, I got the most kills, we should win. But it's not about that. It's not about that. It's about controlling the map. It's about, you only need 3 points if you're playing Conquest. You don't need to take over 5 points. Obviously, 5 points will get you faster. But you only need 3 points, then hold. Okay? And you wait for them to come to you. If you start running around, you don't know where the choke points are. You don't know anything. If you hold the points and let them come towards you, you control the battlefield. But anyway, that's a lot of stuff that I just threw out there. But I noticed a lot of people finally figuring out, okay, what Battlefield is. And a lot of people this weekend that never played. Look, the hype is real. Again, I'm cynical. I'm not excited yet.
They have thrown a lot of money at this. I'll give it to them. But the timetable is going to matter, okay? The server launch is going to matter. Okay, here's the order of operation. Ready? You can hype this all you want. You're going to have 2 beta weekends, and you're going to have a conversation with players actually talking to players.
I think it's like 3 beta weekends.
No, the early access and the first beta weekends all together.
Oh, gotcha.
Right? So it's really just 2 weekends, basically. So you're going to have players who actually play the game. We're going to talk to the players online. Not the streamers. The players will start talking.
Yeah, the players. Yeah.
Right? Then you're going to have whatever the pre-order bonus is going to be. Right? And the discussion is not going to happen about whether server browsers or server this is going to happen until the last minute. Then we're going to see the release of the game and if the servers can hang on or not. Right? And if console plays as good as the 200 computers in a warehouse maxed out to the max.
So far, it's running pretty smooth on my end over here.
Okay. Then you have a full month before COD. Right, COD comes out October.
Yeah, it comes out October 10th, and it comes out like first week of November or something like that. Yeah.
Right. So COD's out in November. Battlefield's October. So now, between Battlefield and COD, whatever other games come out, right? And you get to see the population number of Battlefield during the month that it's out, and what happens to that number when COD comes out.
Right.
That's what you're going to see. That will tell you whether or not the game is sustainable or not. I think that's what's going to tell you.
Yeah, I think the best time to join if you're new into Battlefield would probably be after COD comes out, and here's why. One, if there's server problems, they'll fix that. If there's any balancing issues, they'll fix that. And Call of Duty players that are in the match will leave because they'll go play Call of Duty again.
That's correct.
Right? And then you'll have that base, like you said, the baseline of what the Battlefield players are going to play.
But we don't know what that number is yet.
No, we don't know that number yet.
We don't know that number yet. That's the issue, right? And not to mention the fact that you might be okay with the fact that it comes out, that COD comes out and those players are going to leave. But remember, they're supposed to release the Battle Royale right around the time that COD comes out.
Oh, I heard. Well, speculation is that it's about 2 months afterwards, right? So
you think?
End of November, maybe December.
Rest assured. If the number for Battlefield drops at a level that they think is concerning because COD comes out, then they're going to release Battle Royale earlier.
Yeah. Well, Krebsy's bringing it up right now, and I was actually going to say something about this, right? So he says, I've seen it too many times. He says, oh, my God, this game's amazing. Return to form, most realistic. Then 2-3 months, people are hating cheaters. Nicki Minaj comes to skins, and the cycle continues. My biggest concern is that time frame, right? 2-3 months after the game comes out, then the Battle Royale comes out. And if it is smashing success and they bring in the 50 million people or 100 million people try the game or whatever, and they come into the free-to-play model, and it does a Fortnite. Let's just say it does a Fortnite, where all of a sudden Battlefield makes more money off the Battle Royale than it does the actual game itself. Are they taking all 4 studios and maintaining it, or do they scrap putting 3 more maps in conquest mode and demolition mode and then just put stuff towards the Battle Royale and start making skins and monetization towards that? Will they update it? That is my biggest concern, right? And then here we have another story real fast about Portal. And I kind of want to bring this up, Sarge, because Portal, and I forget the person's name. They called, because in my morning show yesterday, I talked about how Portal loses the identity of what Battlefield is. Now, Portal was in the last 2042, and Portal then is completely different what Portal is now. Portal in Battlefield 6 is going to be like a Fortnite, where you create like a Halo Forge, where you create the maps, you create the game modes, you can take helicopters and go through loops, you can race tanks, you can make a road and slide down, and you have to try to survive. Like, you could do whatever you want in it, okay? And I think that's cool. And a person that watched the video said that they said that other games like Half-Life and Halo and CSGO and all those, Team Fortress, that community kept that things going. And I said, yes, that's very true, and you make great points, but at the same time, those were like that from the start. This is Battlefield, and the Battlefield series has been out for 20-something years, and they've never had a community like this. Now, they did have a community back in the Battlefield 1942 days that did mods that just used the maps and stuff that they had, or they did make like a D-Day map and stuff like that, but they grounded it into the thing. You didn't have slides and things, and you know what I'm saying? They made it grounded with inside the universe of what was given. Like, there was even a Star Wars mod back then where you could play, stormtroopers versus the rebels on the desert maps in 1942, right? The Portal here,
we don't know yet.
Well, they say it's going to make whatever you want, and you can create stuff. Now, my problem is, right now there's 7 game modes inside this game. That's not including the Battle Royale, I don't think, okay? And then whatever they make in Portal, okay? So now you have this player base. Now you're having problems trying to get into a match because, one, there's no server browser, right? No server browser, first off, okay? And then there's Portal, where thousands of people make their thousands of maps and things, and you're going through trying to find what's good, what's not good, whatever, because they're not officiated by Battlefield. They're make what you want, what's popular becomes the, play my match in Roadblocks or play my map in Fortnite. Now, what happens to Conquest? What happens to Team Deathmatch? What happens to Rush? What happens to all of these other things? Then you have Battle Royale on top of that. You have to have a really big player pool to have this many game modes, have this many creative things, and think that you're going to have these things full. Because even now, during the beta, the hypest beta, I'm waiting to get into the servers.
But playable. But this is why we think bots are going to be involved, for sure.
Well, we know bots are going to be involved because they said bots are going to be involved. Right here, Battlefield servers will use bots if they don't have enough players. Well, is that foreshadowing? Because with 7 game modes and all the creative maps that you're going to be able to make in Battle Royale, is there going to be enough people playing in a Conquest with no server browser? Because remember, server browsers in Portal are there, but they're not in for the regular game. And we used to play server browser games all the time. You would find the hardcore modes, go into that one, and you would stay in it all night. When someone dropped, you would invite a friend, and then you just keep staying in there because those people wanted to play that type of match. You don't have that anymore. Now it's just matchmaking inside the regular game.
Yeah,
now there's all these other things happening.
I don't like that they break up the table. When we're all going out to dinner together, we're all stay together. When the next map starts, we should all be in the same match. I don't like this. We have to reset and find people to play every map. I don't like that at all.
I use the analogy of a hot craps table, right? If you've ever been to Vegas and the craps table's smoking hot, you stay at that table regardless, right? You stay there because it's on fire, okay? Yep. And as soon as it goes ice, you get the hell away from that thing. Well, what happens when a server's hot? You just want to stay in there. As soon as you get to that shitty map no one wants to play, you're like, all right, guys, that's it. You drop, and you go back into the cycle, right? So I don't hate Portal. Portal before was like, oh, play all these Battlefield modes inside Portal.
I don't think they're going to give you Portal right away. I think they want to establish the population base first before you start dividing it even more. Because if you have Portal in there are going to be some great guys who know how to use the program and probably make some great maps. I'm sure that if EA doesn't come out with the maps that people want them to come out with fast enough, that people who have Portal will make those maps without a doubt, like Metro. Or
if
Caspian
they're allowed to
border,
make big maps, if they're allowed to
Caspian
make
border,
big maps.
like all kinds of stuff, bro. All kinds of stuff.
I would have to look it up. I would love to know how big the maps were in Battlefield 42 compared to Battlefield 1 compared to what the biggest map is in this one.
Well, the biggest map was Firestorm. Firestorm was one of there was another one that was an amphibious assault one. I can't remember the name of the map, but it was a amphibious assault Middle East with skyscrapers. Remember that one? Where you had an aircraft carrier and some assault craft. You had to land on the actual the land and then attack the other points that were on the land. I can't remember the name of that one though. I'm not sure if it was Desert something or I can't remember, but that one was pretty large too. But Firestorm was one of the largest.
So my next question to you, Sarge, because of Portal, if Portal is what it is and they, Battle Royale takes off, Portal takes off, the game is just moving on all cylinders, right? Do we see another Battlefield? Do we see a Battlefield 7? Or do we just see this iteration and Portal is it? Portal is the next rendition where they can just keep adding stuff, player created, Battlefield created. They just throw it in there and they just keep supporting it for the next 5, 6, 7 years.
Well, look at it yourself, though. Think about this. If you're developing this, like, what do you think your goal is, right? You had 4 studios work on this, right? You're probably trying to set it up to where that this game will last the cycle that it would take you to make another game. And then at that point, you'll decide whether or not where do you want to go from there. They're hoping the game will be good enough to sustain itself, because even if they don't come out with the maps and the people who do the Portal do come out with the maps, then the game's fun factor keeps people enticed. And let's put it this way, if you can make the maps exactly the way you want them in Portal, the game community will sustain the game longer than the EA will. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think that they're hoping that's what happens. I think that if you gave people enough tools to work with and they can make the maps that they want because you guys don't want to, because it costs you guys to make money. It costs you guys money to make the map. The players don't get paid to make the map. We just make it because we love the game.
Right. And
but I personally think that the issue will be once Battlefield or once COD comes out, once the Battle Royale starts, and what the staying power is for the maps that they have currently in the game and what they release out. It's what it's going to be.
All right, so let's talk about the bots, right? Let's talk about the bots here. Battlefield 6 servers will use bots if they aren't enough players. I think this is foreshadowing because I do believe that what you don't know doesn't hurt you. And they're saying there's going to be bots to fill in and whatnot. But how would you know you're going up against bots, right? We've had bots in Battlefield games before.
The bots are getting better now, but right? I can guarantee you're going to figure it out.
No, I understand you will, but will most people care at that point? You know what I mean?
I mean,
because
if they probably not.
If they can keep you engaged and you feel good and you're winning matches and you see all that stuff. It says EA and DICE plan on using AI bots to fill Battlefield 6 servers if there aren't enough players for the game. Well, why wouldn't there be enough players for the game, right? So as part of a multiplayer event, Hong Kong, they said that it was also said that Battlefield Studios' philosophy is to allow as many players as possible to play at the same time. This would just be used on the off chance should a game need a few players in order to get started. DICE also gave examples, used the case of AI bots in Battlefield 6 multiplayer, saying players could create a custom game mode in Portal that allows players to get more comfortable in the game. While not confirmed, you could play the campaign for that, couldn't you? I'm just saying. You could play the campaign because they're going up against bots there.
I mean, if the bots, let's put it this way. If the bots in the campaign are good, then we know what to look for when they play in the actual game.
Right. It should be expected that you also should be more players join the server. Those bots will then be replaced. You would hope, right? There was also no mention of skill level of the bots. Sticking with multiplayer, it also said that the game will also have a number of seasonal events that include new weapons, maps, and modes in order to keep things fresh So obviously battle passes and different things that you could unlock. Hopefully the weapons are free, and then the skins they charge. Like, I don't understand how you're charging for that, because if you have a seasonal event and there's weapons hidden behind that, that's called pay to win. You know what I mean? And that'll be a whole nother can of worms they open up. So I hope they don't do stuff like that, and it's just skins and not actual weapons.
Well, you noticed some of the shortcuts they took, right? Like, I don't want to start a whole segue conversation from this, but this is just from what I looked, right? From all the bullshit between if there's females, if they're Asian, if they're black, whatever else, you notice how everybody wears a mask. Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody wears a mask. Now, let's say I'm a veteran from an actual I've served, right? And I want to play a game. I don't want to hear any female voice. I don't want to hear any bullshit female talking to me about a grenade coming in. You know what I mean? Like, even though you're wearing the mask, I can still hear your voice. Right?
I get it.
Everybody's like this, so what do I have to worry about, right? If everybody's like this, then we don't have to worry about offending anyone, right? Because nobody can see anybody. Everybody's wearing a mask. So you didn't have to animate the faces. You didn't have to make characters, because before you had to make characters. Remember, you were going to make specialist classes, right? And now we don't want to see anybody's face. No face. Right? So there's just certain things about it. If you're going to keep it like a military thing and you want everyone to be faceless type of thing, then I should at least have a switch in my start screen, male, female. Right? I should at least get the option of male, female.
I actually said it to myself earlier, because I was playing and I picked the engineer, and the engineer was a girl. And I was like, I wish I could pick a male or female.
And I guarantee you she's stuck your support. You're the female. I guarantee that's what it's going to be.
It didn't break my immersion or anything like that.
It would for me.
No, I know. But when I got knocked down and then my character was like, I need a fucking medic, and it was a woman's voice, I was just like, oh. I was like, yeah, right. I wish I could pick a man.
That's correct. At least give me the switch.
Yeah. If they put that in, I think that'd be fine.
Yep. Give me the switch.
Yeah, I'm not mad that the women are in there, but put an option if I want male or female character. Because I would look at that as like an RPG at that point. You know what I mean? Like, do I want to play as male character or female character? Don't just force and give it to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's a small change.
But that's why everyone's got a mask on, because no one complained about it, because you can't see them.
Well, I think for the beta, I think there's going to be face covers, and I think once they have the skins and the things like that, I think they'll take the face masks off.
I want uniform. I should be able, if I play hardcore and I play with small icons, I should be able to identify enemy from friend easily. I shouldn't have to guess whether or not the guy's friend or foe.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the issue I have when you do skins, right? The skin still has to match the palette of the team that they're on. So you have to make it, if you're going to make some kind of cool skin, then the cool skin still has to have the color palette of the enemy team, so I can identify you immediately.
This is why I think
not that everyone looks like a mercenary. I can't tell who you are if I'm playing hardcore.
I think they're going to do more gun skins than character skins, personally. Just because character skins, I think you only have a certain amount that you can do. Because if they get too crazy with it, then you kind of lose what you're saying. Like, you won't know what the enemy is. And
well, we're talking about skins, but we're talking about skins in Battle Royale. I'm not talking about skins in the actual game. You can't give skins unless they're
but that's what I'm saying.
Skins.
Yeah, real combat skins. But even then, would you pay $10 and you can only use that in that one game mode? You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't buy skins.
I don't buy skins either.
I don't buy skins that I can't fucking see on my character.
That's why I think they're going to do more of the gun skins, right? The gun, you see the gun. They'll put the little things that hang off the gun, and little knick-knack type of shit. I think that's what they'll do.
I would like to see. I don't want to go back
tank
too far.
custom, like spray paints on the side of the tank.
Well, you could put your own your squad
emblem,
numbers, your squad numbers on your tank vehicles, that just like they did in Battlefield 1. That was cool. I like that. Right? You could put your own markings on the tank. That's fine. But I would like to see that during the campaign of the game, that if you find all the hidden things, that you got more guns unlocked when you go to multiplayer. I would like to see the comeback of that. The reason why you played the campaign and looked around and explored the maps in the campaign is to find the guns. And if you found the guns in the campaign, then you were allowed to use those guns early in the multiplayer instead of you aiming to level up and unlocking the gun that way. I think that should be a thing as well. But we don't know yet, because we're only talking about kiss, kiss, bang, bang. right? That's all we're talking about right now. We don't know yet. I will have a different opinion after I see 2 weekends of normal people playing this game. We'll see.
So next one is Activision leadership isn't worried about Battlefield 6 because Call of Duty is too big to fail. Do you think
I've heard this shit before?
Do you think Call of Duty is too big to fail, Sarge?
No, it's not. It's not too big to fail. We've seen every other game who's on top for as long as they have ever been on top, and then all of a sudden they're not on top anymore. Call of Duty is not too big to fail. A matter of fact, Call of Duty is in the exact position where you spend too much money on a game and nobody gives a shit about your game anymore, and then it fails. That's exactly where that's exactly the position that it's in. As a matter of fact, if Battlefield were going to take over the position of best war shooter over COD, this would probably be the year, because COD is weak right now as far as, I guess, buzz and loyalty from all the other bullshit that's been going on. And I think that if you were going to try to take the spot from them, this would be the best time to do it. If you don't take it from them now, they'll have time to fix up all the bullshit and come out with a different COD.
Ray says Kodak was too big to fail. BlackBerry was too big to fail.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I talked about this earlier. I think no company is too big to fail. I said Rome fell, right? You know what I mean? Like nothing's too big to fail. Everything can fall. Do I think that Battlefield 6 has a shot to beat Call of Duty this year? I don't. I don't think it's going to even beat Call of Duty, because even at Call of Duty's worst, okay, and Battlefield's best, there was still like a 17 million gap.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like, I don't know, man. There's something about COD. Madden football sells year after year, and it's the same shit. COD sells year after year because it's the same shit. There's this recipe that people like. I haven't played a Call of Duty. I haven't purchased a Call of Duty since 2009 for Modern Warfare 2. That's the last one I purchased of Call of Duty. Haven't played since then. Okay. So, was it 14 years? Like, I'm not interested in it because I saw what it is, right? And it's been like that ever since. Battlefield has stumbled for 10 years. Okay? Stumbled for 10 years. From Battlefield 1, that was fine. Battlefield 5 came out, stumbled. Battlefield 2042 stumbled. And then here you are with Battlefield 6. Even if it does beat Call of Duty, congratulations. Now you got to do it again and again. Now, what I do like is that Battlefield is finally back, hopefully back to 0, and there's something else for to compete with, which is good for gamers. Gamers get better games when they have something that's competing against each other. Look at Overwatch, look at Marvel Rivals, right? Look at other games like this of Diablo and Path of Exile, right? You see these things, competition breeds, right? Competitiveness for the stuff. So that's what we want as gamers, okay? Do I think Battlefield 6 can beat Call of Duty? I don't. Even at its worst, I don't think it's going to beat Call of Duty. I still think it wins. Wins it out by sales.
If I give you a 20% bump, and I'm going to give it to you on the best I won't even say the best version of Battlefield. I'll give you a 20% bump for new people that haven't played it before. I'll give you 6 million copies. I'll give you 6 or 7 million copies. I'll give it to you.
I think Battlefield 6 sells 10 to 12 is, I think, was what I said.
You think
10
so?
To 12. Yeah.
You think so?
I think it comes back and says 10 to 12. Yeah, because I think 2042 sold 4 to 5. Right?
Yeah.
And there was no hype for that.
Yeah, I'm giving you 6 to 7.
All right. I think when it's all said and done, I think it'll be I don't know if it beats Battlefield 3. Battlefield 3 was 17. Players 25 million for Battlefield 1, but
you do realize that the reason why Battlefield 3 sold 17 million copies is because of what Bad Company did.
Correct. Because Bad Company was so good. The next rendition of it is what
Bad Company 2 did is the reason why you ended up with 17 million people buying Battlefield 3.
Yeah. 100%. That's why Bad Company 2 was like the...
We're coming off of a 2042.
Yeah, because people bought it late, saw how good it was, and they're like, man, I don't want to miss this. And when Battlefield 3 came out, that's when it sold 17 million. Yeah. I don't know. I think it'll be very interesting to see what happens.
The next 3 months are going to decide a lot. And we haven't even factored in the other games that are coming out yet. Like the other games. Other games that are coming out.
Borderlands 4 is coming out. Arc Raiders is coming out. There's a bunch of games I can't think of.
Listen, real quick. I don't want to cut you off. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Arc Raiders has to delay. You cannot put yourself between Call of Duty and Battlefield. You can't. You cannot.
We watched the video earlier of the guy talking about it, right? And he was saying that Arc Raiders is
they're going to kill themselves.
1 week before Call of Duty and 3 weeks or 2 weeks after Battlefield 6. Arc Raiders is in a tough spot there because they're in the exact same position as Titanfall was back in the day. Okay, now EA owned both Battlefield and Titanfall. They don't own Embark. Embark is making Arc Raiders. I think it's a different enough thing. I don't think Arc Raiders was going to be this huge thing anyway, but the guy made a point. I actually said the point before he made the point was if you only buy 3 to 4 games a year and you've already purchased 2 this year and you only have 2 games left and there's 3 games out of, in the last month.
I don't look at it.
I do. Because if you only have 3, if the average person buys 3 or 4 games and they've already purchased 2 of them and there's 4 major games coming out, Borderlands 4, Battlefield 6, Call of Duty, and then Arc Raiders. If you're interested in which ones are you buying, if you only buy 2 out of those 4,
I don't want to see a development team who used to work on Battlefield come out with a game in between Battlefield and Call of Duty and get smoked because no one will buy their game, or I won't say no one will buy their game, that they won't get enough interaction on the initial sales month because of their positioning.
I think the only thing that Arc Raiders has really, really got going for it, obviously the gameplay and stuff looks great, is that the price point. If it's $40 and it's not a $70 thing,
right,
that might make people go, you know what? I'm going to buy this. Maybe
maybe
they throw in it.
Is that official? Is it 40?
I think it's $40. Yeah, I think it is, right, Chad? Is it 40 or 50? Regardless, it's still cheaper. Maybe people look at that and go, I'm buying Call of Duty because 50% of the people on PlayStation buy Call of Duty. That's a fact. 50% of PlayStation owners buy Call of Duty.
So that's what? So that's 30 something million.
They said that 80 million,
75 million
shipped. So there's 40 million people that could potentially buy COD.
It's not on the older systems, right? Battlefield's not on the older systems.
Yeah, no, I don't think. I think it's just on the newer one, right?
So then there's 70. You said there's 75 million.
75 million, 80 million with the last fiscal one that they just talked about.
Right,
but
so
let's just say there's
So you're looking at somewhere between 30 and 40 million
people. Yeah, 30 million people.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, that's what they say. They say 50% of the people that own a PlayStation play COD.
That's crazy.
Okay, so if that's the case, that's one game that they're buying over on PlayStation. Okay, you don't have to buy it over on Xbox. People can, and then there's PC, right? Arc Raiders maybe they go, you know what, $50. I'll buy that extra. Instead of buying 3-4 games, they buy a 5th game because it's cheaper. I don't know. It's a hard sell, to be honest.
This is going to be a tight 4 months, bro.
Nobody had this on the bingo card. Nobody had Battlefield 6 on the bingo card for this year.
Because it wasn't supposed to come out.
It wasn't supposed to come out this year.
That's why I don't think it's ready. This is why I don't think it's ready.
This is why I'm a little skeptic.
You can't tell me you were going to come out spring next year and then all of a sudden say, hey, by the way, we're coming out in October.
Potential, yeah. If Grand Theft Auto was dropping this year, this was not coming out this year.
Oh, for sure.
Not coming out this year.
For sure.
All right, chat. Let's get to Q&A. Okay. If you guys have a question, put a Q in front of your question. We'll start taking questions, and then we'll do some Q&A with Sarge, 30 and Sarge. The other video that we watched this morning of the guy talking about how he hasn't played Battlefield in 9 years because Battlefield 5 and then 2042, there's just clusterfucks, and he felt like lost as a first-person shooter player. And I'll be honest with you, Sarge, I felt that way for the longest time. I think that's why we played Destiny for so long as we did, from 2013 or 14 to about 2019, 2020. So like 6 years we were inside Destiny, right? Because Battlefield never filled that gap. I love Battlefield 1. I think Battlefield 1 is probably one of my Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 1. I like 3 and 4, but there's something about Battlefield 1, man. It's like perfect. Like magic happens when you're playing that with a good team. It feels really good, Battlefield 1. Okay? And I don't know. I don't know if Battlefield 6 is there yet. Maybe 2 years from now, after all the maps come in and all the things happen, and maybe Battle Royale fails and miserably, and they double down on more maps and stuff inside the thing. Maybe Portal. Maybe we look back at Battlefield 6 and go, this is one of those top 3, man. This is up there. Okay, but as of right now, as a diehard Battlefield fan, I think they just got back to 0. And as a person,
the only thing that they progressed is the destruction. Everything else is
actually worse.
Is what a Battlefield game is.
No, it's actually worse than Battlefield 1. I watched a comparison video of Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 6.
Send that to me. I want to look at it.
And Battlefield 1 has more destructible because when the floors fall and stuff, the houses like crumble and they like tip and like they stay there. Here, like the buildings are falling and stuff like that, but they don't fall the same way. They're like this animation of explosion happens and then it's like there, right? So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Now, here's another thing I just thought about, Sarge. A lot of the people that are liking the game right now during the beta and during the open event, I would say they're around in their early 30s to mid 30s now, where before they didn't like Battlefield because they were in their 20s, right? And it's funny because my channel, my whole gamer tag of 30 and Still Gaming was literally based off of Bad Company and Bad Company 2 because I was in my late 20s. I didn't like Call of Duty anymore, okay? I wanted to play Bad Company and Battlefield, and I came up with an LFG called 30 and Still Gaming to find older gamers that like to play these types of games. And I've noticed a lot more younger guys that are now older guys that have a family. They like playing this game, or at least they like playing the beta so far. And I was like, isn't that weird? It's like you leave your 20s and you're like, I don't really like COD. I don't really like COD anymore, right? I like this Battlefield. It seems pretty nice. It's more casual, but yet there's strategy involved, but yet it's not as sweaty. You know what I mean? It can be, but I don't know. It's something I just thought about. A lot of people that are liking it are in their early to mid 30s. All right, got a couple questions coming in here. When the red bar disappears, we'll stop taking questions. We'll leave it up as we take questions, but once I turn the red bar off, make sure you get your questions. It could be a question about anything. It could be a question about the stories that you heard today. It could be a question about games coming out. It could be a question about Battlefield. It could be a question about anything. We like watching Revolutionary War movies. Yeah. We're a History Channel guys. You know what I'm saying?
That's all I used to watch.
I know. I live with you.
I used to watch it when they used to call it the Hitler Channel because that's all that was ever on the History Channel.
Yeah, the History Channel. Yeah. All right, let's see here. Let's go to.
It would be amazing if they allowed proximity chat in Battlefield, but they wouldn't.
Well, they might be putting proximity chat into Fortnite. That'll be a fucking disaster. Real quick, let's go to Q&A.
Some kid's gonna cry.
Oh yeah, it'll be like the new SOCOM lobby.
There were a lot of pent up people playing SOCOM back in the day who were just angry at the world, bro.
Oh yeah. All right.
Like seriously angry at the world.
Sarge, if you stay in regular chat and grab more questions that come in, I'm going to go over to the questions section. Real quick, again, Waterbear, thank you very much for the $50 super chat from earlier in the show. We're going to put that back up there. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Altern says, so between Fortnite's new season, Battlefield beta, and COD content update, which one takes your time? Me personally,
Sorry.
What happened?
I misclicked. It's my fault.
Oh, Jesus.
My fault.
Well, thank God I read that one. You skipped 2 of them. I missed I think we forgot your other question there. Sarge is deleting questions and not adding them.
I'm not deleting.
So I am going to be playing Battlefield 1. Or, I'm sorry, Battlefield 6. Battlefield 1. Yeah, no, I'm going to play Battlefield 1. No, Battlefield 6. I actually told Sarge next Wednesday we should play Battlefield 1 because I'm getting a jonesing for Battlefield 1 again. But, yeah, I'm going to play Battlefield 6 this weekend. I'm actually going to be playing Battlefield 6 after stream, so. Sarge, you? Yeah.
I don't know about Skyrocket.
Skyrocket? What the fuck is Skyrocket?
Yeah, well, it says, will PS5 and Xbox console sales skyrocket?
No, this is the wrong question. This is the question that you put up there. Yeah, which one would you play? The Fortnite update, the Call of Duty update, or Battlefield 6 beta?
Oh, the Battlesix is beta.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what this question is you put up here. Will PlayStation 5 and Xbox console sales skyrocket if Fortnite / live service abandon the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One? I don't know if they skyrocket because you got to remember the PlayStation's still $700 and the Xbox is still $800.
Yeah, nobody has the money for that stuff, man.
Yeah, I don't know if they skyrocket, but I would say people will come over.
You give another reason.
Yeah, there's got to be that game right now. Moving games off, no. Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out, yes.
Well, just look at it. Look at it from their point of view, right? The whole reason why they make games for the older systems is because the adoption rate is so low. And if you're trying to make money, you've got to make the game work on the older system. But you're trying to make these games at such a level that the old hardware can't run them. Don't you guys remember what happened when we played Battlefield 3, right? And on the PC, when the dam broke, they showed the water come down, but we never saw the water come down in the console version because the console couldn't handle the rendering of the water shooting through the dam. I didn't even know that the water came out of the dam because I thought it was just a dam that didn't have water. We were just blowing up the dam.
Yeah, you just blow up the dam.
They couldn't use it as a reservoir. But I didn't know until later that the PC version had water shoot out of the dam when you destroyed the dam. So if you have to trade off sales for trying to adopt people over to the new system. In the old days, remember, that problem didn't happen because you weren't so greedy and you didn't have so many people making a game. You were like, we made a new game. It's for the new system. It's not for the old system, period. And so you decided that the next 6 games coming out are all going to be on the new system. So either you were in and you bought a new system or you're not. Now we're in like this limbo land about which games are made on the old system, which one, because they've got too many people that are not adopting the new system. And by the way, I keep hearing rumors of the new system specs coming out. So where are we at that? You think we're going to adopt again before? Like, I'm still waiting for the game that's supposed to be for the Xbox Series X. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it.
All right. Next question is, Altern says, so is Battlefield 6 is back?
In the name. The name's out.
I can't say it's back, even though I'm enjoying playing the beta as of right now. To me, it's not back. To me, it's back to almost to zero. Like, it's almost back to the bar that was set 10 years ago. I would have to wait because they did say there was 15 maps, but they did say 9 of those maps were at launch. So once the 15 maps get into the game, I'll let you know if it's back or not.
Yeah, that's a sticking point for me. That 2 maps out of the 9 are actual semi-large, not the large.
Semi-large, yeah,
right.
Semi-large.
Not Firestorm. Firestorm comes out later.
Well, this is also coming from people that played the maps, not them officially, right? They just said there's 9 maps and 15 maps total, and then the people that played the map said there's 2 semi-large maps from all these different people that have played it.
Yeah, semi-large means I don't get to fly around in a jet. I have to constantly do loops in order to fly around in a jet or helicopter. You know what I mean? Like you want there to be air combat. You don't want it to be just guys strafing you every 2 seconds in a jet. Like you want there to be air combat.
All right, next one. Altern says, where can I find your music, 30? I forgot. Not a paid actor. Well, I appreciate that. You don't have to do this, but you can find my music, and there's links in the description down below if you're on YouTube. If you're over on Twitch, you can go to Spotify, iTunes, Music Play, or Apple Music, anywhere, any place you can download or stream music, you can find. It's called Perk Up, Press Play. It's fun music. You can stream it or download it. I appreciate it very much. Thanks for asking. Krebsy says, how long do you think it takes for a console-only crossplay to be added to Battlefield 6? Isn't there already added, Krebsy? I heard that you can take it in the settings. By default, it's on, meaning it's crossplay.
Crossplay with PC?
No. It's crossplay with everybody. Yeah, it's crossplay with everybody.
Oh, right my God, dude. This is going to be a shit show.
Right? But they said in the settings, you can turn it off unless they didn't add that yet. And then if that's what you're asking, I hope it's out by October because I don't want to be in lobbies with PC players because you're not gonna win. Okay.
Dude, the flick shots with a
Yeah,
mouse and keyboard, you're
yeah.
not gonna be able to handle playing against PC players on console. No shot, dude.
Let me rephrase that. I hope it's out by release in October, not later in October. But I think by default, it's going to be crossplay. And then you have to go in the settings to shut it off. It's like, I don't know if you have a new car, but they have that fucking automatic shut off car. Like if you stop at a light, it like you have to. Your car like shuts off.
Shit, the dumbest shit ever.
In Florida, you really notice it because your air conditioning is running, and when your car engine shuts off, all of a sudden the cold air goes to warm air because it's not it's not powering the thing. So you have to shut it off. I always say I should opt into turning it, not opting out, right? So yeah. I want crossplay. I want to opt into crossplay, not opt out of crossplay. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, just a sidebar. In all my auto shop classes, all my mechanics in my entire life, everybody always told me that and including the TV commercials for oil, selling me oil, always told me that the hardest time for your car ever, the most damage done to your car
is when
it starts.
Yeah.
So how is it you want me to save gas and make my car damage it every time I stop at a fucking light? You want to turn on and off my fucking car? What fucking common sense is this? What monkey in a room thought that this was a good idea? Opt out. Fuck you.
Krebsy says Shroud. Should Battlefield make Battlefield HQ like COD? This is a central hub that holds like 3 COD games and Warzone into one app, all using the same assets and engines. I'm going to say no. I don't like what COD does with all that. Now, obviously, they might do something like that because if you're paying for microtransactions, they want to kind of like just slide everything over to the next thing. So, but it also fucks with the numbers, right? Because you don't know what the concurrent player base is also because you don't know if they're playing the old one or the new one. They just like, all Call of Duty, here it is, and that's the numbers. So if you're a numbers guy, no. And if you're a person that, I personally don't want that. But I don't know. What do you think, Sarge?
No. Absolutely not. Let COD be COD, and for God's sake, let Battlefield be Battlefield.
Yeah,
stop trying to make Battlefield into COD.
Next one, Krebsy says, with the rumor of Fortnite getting proximity chat, do you think we will see people get banned for telling others to suck their dick or their retards?
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
As a matter of fact, I think making proximity chat is actually there on purpose to purge some of the players.
I mean, think about it. We didn't have people stopping us when we played SOCOM. I was older. I was like,
there was no censorship. There's no censorship
back in the day when you're playing SOCOM, right? People were egregious things, horrendous stuff. You're like, oh my God, right? I will reach this microphone. You're like, holy shit, right? So yeah,
he's got a girl in the basement. Some of those guys have girls in the basement.
Yeah, probably.
In SOCOM? Absolutely. Absolutely. Some guy, I remember playing with a couple of guys and they were like, it sounded like they had people tied up in their house. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, it's bad times back then. So. Krebsy says, we asked this last year and everyone was wrong, but I'll ask it again. Do we see Pete leaving Bungie in the next year? I said he was done before the end of the year. Sarge said he was done, I think,
he's already been there too long.
Christmas or
I said after Christmas.
Afterwards, yeah.
I can't. I mean, claim any time now is after Christmas. No. Well, I mean after Christmas. I mean like January, February. The only reason I can see why Pete is still there is because he's got to stay there for a certain amount of time for his stock options to kick in. That's the only reason.
I think. Yeah. I mean, he's gonna get paid regardless, so he can stay there as long as he wants. Until they kick him out. I think once the whole thing goes through and Bungie gets dissolved completely, I think that's when he's gone. Yeah, unless they give him a promotion and put him in some other.
I mean, God, Lord knows all they do in Bungie is fail upward.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Krebsy says, find it ironic that Battlefield is going from futuristic to modern, and COD is going from semi-modern to what we presume to be futuristic. Yeah, you would think that they have a conversation, right? Like someone right now is going, all right, where are we going after this, right? Where do you
The
think
moon.
Battlefield's going after this? Are they going back to World War II, World War One? Are they going to right? They have to figure out what the hell they're doing. And same with COD. COD's like, well, but if we do this and they do this, we don't want to compete at the same time on the same thing. So they have to try to figure out something because they did back in the day. They competed at World War II at the exact same time, right? At the exact same time.
But if you did exactly what they're doing right now, right, with the griminess and the destructive environment, and you made everything World War II, that would also be a win.
Sure. I mean, I love the World War II era. You can do what you want, say what you want. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just history. You're living in that moment of history. This right now, you're like, what are we doing? We're fighting in Brooklyn. It's fantasy.
Well, I like the fact that they picked Brooklyn, make it like a
Like
more
Division?
more modern version of like Red Dawn. Like the
Sure.
terrorist groups are trying to take over America. And would you fight in that kind of battle? Would you fight on your homeland? I think that's actually kind of cool because remember, every other battle that we were doing, we always fight somewhere else. We don't fight on our own land. So I'm hoping that the campaign portion of the game goes into what that is and why they're doing it, because I think it's a cool concept. Because I know for a fact that if anybody attacked us at all, everybody has a gun. Everybody. You'd be fighting like every street, every corner, everybody's got a gun. Like that's the way it would go down. It would be insane.
Kevin says, can we rename this section the Alternate and Krebsy section? Sure. Sure, why not? But instead of Q&A,
it's Q&A with AK. It's Q&A with
it's
AK.
Q&A with AK. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm not going to answer the question, Krebsy, about the MasterCard ban on GTA because it's the same shit that we said last week. They should just stay out of it. Robert Jones, how long until we get 2142 remake? That's probably next up.
You don't.
It's probably next up.
You don't.
Because they're going to go to the future. Call of Duty comes back to the modern, and then they go back to the. Yeah, it's probably the next.
Robert,
one.
do you remember that version? What it was, where you got to attack
So
the
bad.
base ship. You got to attack the base ship. You got to use the jump packs and get into the ship and destroy the ship from inside. Remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that, right? It was almost kind of like Planet Side, but worse.
A little bit. Here's another one. Should MasterCard do the stance? Yeah, I'm not going to answer this because they should just stay the fuck out of. That's the answer. They should just stay the fuck out and not tell people
Dude,
how
you should,
to.
Do you know how you handle that situation? It's really simple. You get a Discover card. You transfer your balance from MasterCard to Discover. You cut up your MasterCard. You tell MasterCard, I'm never buying anything with your card again.
Yeah, because if you're not making payments, or you know what I mean, they
Transfer
make no
the
money
balance
off you.
Transfer the balance to fucking Discover. Have Discover
Yep,
collect your
that's
money
exactly what I would do.
and get the fuck out of MasterCard.
Yeah, I don't have a MasterCard. I have a Visa and I have an American Express.
And if Visa was fucking me, I would do the same thing.
Yeah,
I'd get
the
rid
only
of
reason I have a Visa
and
is
switch over
because
to American Express. Go fuck them.
the only reason I have a Visa is because Costco doesn't take American Express. We use American Express for everything, and we pay our bills on that. So American Express makes zero off of us because we pay our thing. It's cash. We don't spend the card unless we have the money to pay the
but
card.
you build up your credit rating. That's what
Correct.
I do.
Correct.
Yeah. You build up your credit rating.
Altern says, how long till we see the Fortnite-style maps in Battlefield 6? What do you mean Fortnite-style?
2 months.
No, but what do you mean by Fortnite-style? You talking about the
Portal.
Portal. Well, okay, so
or the VR. Or the
you're
VR.
you're asking about the crazy-looking maps and stuff of like the roads and stuff within a week.
I think just
Whenever Portal comes out, within a week.
Just for shits and giggles, though, I think I may want to play BR one time just so I can run around LA and blow it the fuck up. Like if it's actually going to be landmarks and stuff from Los Angeles,
that's a good reason, Sarge.
And Battlefield, and I get to run around in a tank or rocket launcher, I would love just to fucking burn down LA.
Wouldn't that be great if that's the reason they put California as the battle royale? Just to burn it down.
I mean, I'm hoping it really is LA. I'm hoping they have landmarks.
It is. That's what it is.
I hope they did a nice job with the BR map because I want to burn it all down. That's. I have all the landmarks in my head. I know exactly where I'm going to go. Just give me the rocket launcher.
Altern says, what's happening to your base in Dune Awakening? I made the payment, so it's still alive.
Making payments.
Yeah, I went and put fuel cells in, so it's got there for another 19 days. We're good. It's good.
Ridiculous.
Salty says, will Sarge be playing Genshin on his brand new Steel of handheld for $8.99?
Absolutely not.
There you go.
I don't. And I don't even humor the fact of playing a Genshin Impact game. The only one I played for a little while, and I played it a while back, was the Star Wars version, the Star Wars Galaxy.
Oh no, you're talking about Galactic Heroes. Genshin Impact is a completely different game.
No, I know, but that's the same type of game. Same type of game.
Well, it's a gotcha.
It's a gotcha
keep you playing type of thing. Yeah. But it's a completely different game. It's a wide open, like it's more of a Zelda open world with hot chicks.
Yeah, I get it.
And you pay for the characters.
Yes.
Ray says, if they add drones in Portal, I can see survival mode where you also need 3D audio headphones. Wait, okay, I'm confused with this. If they add drones in Portal, I can see a survival mode where you need this 3D audio headphones. Is that a question? If they add a drone in Portal, I mean, they have the 3D audio, which is actually pretty cool. If you go to the firing range, there's a little radio on the table, and it's playing the old school dun 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 dun. And if you have headphones on and you walk past it, you only hear it from here, but it's literally 3D audio. And as you turn your head, it's actually pretty cool. And when you're in the battle, okay, when the jets like fly over you and stuff like that.
How loud is that shit, dude?
You're like, holy.
Like, how do you hear footsteps when an F-16 is
when the buildings are falling around, your explosions are happening.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah. So
you're deaf.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I don't really know how to answer your question though. So, let's see. One more question. Robert Jones says, "Will Sarge try Stormgate?" Stormgate's like a Starfield. Oh, I'm sorry, StarCraft type of game.
Is that the new RTS that came out?
It's like StarCraft, but it's just like that.
Yeah, I think it's an RTS.
That's the right one, right? Jones?
I'll take a look at it. I'm not sure if I'm going to.
That's the one they talked about like 4 or 5 years ago. It was in trouble, wasn't it?
Well, think of it this way: Blizzard hasn't made another StarCraft, right? They haven't done a 3 yet because people are still playing 2.
No, yeah, people are still playing 2. Yeah. All right.
You notice how Blizzard has basically just flushed all their IP down the toilet as well.
Yeah, they're just kind of they were so comfortable that they just didn't care.
Like
there's every game that they make, there's a better version someone else made besides them.
I looked at Titan 2.
Yep.
And I looked at it without the title on it, and I put it right up next to Diablo, and I'm like, what's the difference? How is Activision not suing them?
It's not in hell. It's during the Roman times, isn't it? In Titan, it's like Greek mythology or whatever.
It doesn't fucking matter.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I think it's just thematically.
The HUD is the same. The little glass jars where your health and magic are exactly the same. So where's the lawyers? Where's the lawyers?
They're suing Pal World and right now.
Where's the lawyers?
That's what's happening. All right. Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way, is in the can, episode 251. If you guys like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. I'm not going to be streaming, but I will be playing Battlefield 6. So if you guys would like to play, hit me up in about 10 minutes or so. I'll be up in the lobby if you guys want to play. Appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your evening, day, or night, wherever you are in the world. Don't forget to check us out right here on 30NSG during Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern for the Daily Grind, where we go over news stories, daily news stories, have conversations, bring the chat, part of the conversations, and we do appreciate you very much. Don't forget to check out 30NSG on this channel. Go check out my uploads. I have some scripted content that I've put up there. Hope you guys enjoy that. Also, Nerding with 30 has a couple of scripted stuff over there as well, which is our entertainment channel. And you can also support us with Perk Up Press Play, which is an album that plays every morning before the show starts. If you come about 20 minutes early, you can listen to the music. And we remove that for the past broadcast. So I appreciate it very much, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.
Game on, guys.
Retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips.